welcome to the Mysteries of Selindor, episode 112. Our resident bard Seti will let us know what we did last time, and I'm looking forward to this time because everyone's gonna get their kitties.
Okay. Anyway, last time, after Box Breaker, we met in Cleary's room to discuss the auction. He gave us all some money to spend as like a little. Here's some spending money, kids. Have fun. I don't know.
10,000 each.
Yeah. Just a little bit. And Celeste heard us talking about Orin becoming a monster, so we were kind of like, well, shit, you've already overheard some stuff. You're sworn to secrecy, but come to our meeting with us anyway. And then we didn't wind up talking about anything important anyway. But Mitnir has an Ion Stone, which Orin got, so that's fun. And Orin checked in with Caldera, who wasn't going to the auction, as she said she was working on something special, like regarding her dad or with her dad. I don't remember, but who knows? Aldas wanted Grim to join in Veruna and give them his Star Mother fracture, which is why they'd originally invited him to the school when he auditioned, and said that some believe she was the mother of the Mimic, and others that she formed the roots of Selindor to birth many children, a power they believe was taken by Northought, I think. And then he told Grim some stuff that we all had to mute ourselves for or deafen ourselves because it was secret, and Grim decided not to share with the group. So who knows what that was about? Not me. And
he just doesn't want you to die.
Grim asked about Trinembra, and Aldask said it was what keeps Azathoth asleep, and not Grim's calling. And wouldn't say more unless Grim joined Enveruna. Anyway, during the auction, Mitnir was approached by a messenger from the Afriti bearing the sword Surtur was made into to be used during Boxbreaker, and returned afterward unless a suitable patron, carrier, owner was found. So we ran around with Celeste and Cleary at the auction trying to ascertain which items we were most interested in and set up like this seal network to like tip each other off on what was going fast, and wound up walking away with a pretty tidy haul, if I do say so myself. Which included some kittens that Gagnor mentioned a second ago. So.
And a fracture.
And the fracture for Orin.
Right.
And I got +2 to my charisma.
Okay,
like
so as you all spend your evenings wrapping everything up and winding down and making your way to where you will find respite for the evening, what is there anything that anybody would like to do before they go to bed, like just in general?
I guess I would meet up with Cleary to get my fractured thing done.
Oh yeah, well we've already been through that, so I will say that you can meet up with Cleary, and Cleary will say, "Oh,
we did it offline, but
be more than happy to help you circumvent what's necessary for that. I'm a bit worse for wear after the day, but yes, I think we can do that." So he sets up the circle and lines everything up for you, and by the time you open your eyes, you feel your body has just like steam is rising off of your body as you finish this moment, and you look and you see like your whole body has become more toned and live, and like you put on muscle just during this thing. And Cleary is looking at you, and his eyes are kind of like, you see like there's like bags under his eyes. He's like, that took an extraordinary amount of time, and you realize that it's been like 6 hours that you've spent.
Nice.
And whereas you're going to get your long rest and get to level up, Cleary is going to be exhausted the next day.
Good thing he doesn't have box breaker anymore.
So
Can always treat him to the statue if he wants to get rest.
yeah, if he wants to get his rest, he's a powerful enough being to figure out how to get rest if he needs it. Seti, is there anything you want to do? Any dreams that you're doing? Any of that nonsense?
Yes, I'm doing some nonsense. I hadn't quite decided what kind of nonsense, though, so I'm going to roll a die, and it will decide for me. Evens, I do that one thing, and odds, I will do the other thing.
So vague.
Okay.
All right, so it was even, which is the first thing.
Cool.
so,
So we'll proceed with the first thing.
So Sati has a lot on her mind as she's trying to go to sleep. She's cuddling her kitten. I assume she's staying in Bropsy's room.
Mm-hmm.
And
Roxy doesn't have her kitten, and she's been raging about it for hours.
What?
You haven't
You're
got
not
it yet.
raging.
no, we've been playing with mine and trying
Yeah.
to teach Azorus
Yeah.
not to eat it.
Azurus has been like nipping at it several times.
No.
And we
Like,
keep saying
it's just like a
nice,
taste. It's,
nicely.
it's such a tasty
Not
little
chicken nugget.
tasty.
No nuggy.
No
No nuggy.
We'll get you some actual chickens. You can't have the kitten. but you-
Magically generated cruelty-free chicken.
Yeah. Oh, here. I'll do the bag of bounty
yeah.
to just bring out a shit ton of
All right,
rotisserie
I would
chickens.
like an animal handling check to. I know Azurus is technically not an animal, but I would like an animal handling check to train Azurus not to eat the kitten.
Go for it, Brapsy.
28.
You can do it with advantage because you guys are working on this together.
Plus, perhaps he can speak Draconic, which Azurus understands.
Yeah.
28.
Okay, Azurus gets the
29.
picture. Not only does Azurus get the picture, but they become quick friends. Whatever the
Okay.
name of your little ever kitten is.
Oh, my kitten is named Ithilmir, which is moonshine in Elvish, but we'll call her Mir for short. M-I-R. Mir.
Okay. She, you find by the end of the night, she's like just sort of snuggled up on like the back of like the scales behind the head of Azurus, in like this little like comfortable position in the crook of her horns.
Nice.
So they get along.
Anyway.
Dreams?
Yeah, so I have a lot on my mind as I go to sleep, and I probably tell Bropsy about all of it, like, oh gosh, I'm late to see my mom. She's probably so worried, but I'm worried that it might be putting in danger her to see her, and oh gosh, what a day. And like, I want to get the whole story out of Bropsy from like everything that happened that day, every last detail of what happened while I was kidnapped, because nobody told me yet, and and just be like, and Clary's been so awkward, and I feel bad how things got left with Kieran, but it's like really volatile and just all the dumping. So when Sadie falls asleep, I think this is all swirling around in her mind, and she decides that what she needs in this moment is clarity and closure on at least something. So she will seek out. Let me turn off this fucking music. We're going to the dream music.
Oh, I can't hear anything.
That might be because you didn't join the stream, or it's just really quiet for you guys. Who knows?
Yeah.
She will seek out Clary.
Cleary. Okay, so in the swirling void, the sea of thought and dreams, all these sparkling nebulous all around you as you're looking through all of the bits of starlight, each one the consciousness of a creature within your general vicinity. You can't find Cleary for some time. And then after about 6 hours or so, he pops up.
Yep, Orin kept him up.
In Dreamtime, you flip from star to star and can kind of like see some things, but you don't really enter. You don't use your dream spell during this time until you see this little blue star appear, one you know the light of so well. Somewhere close to moonlight, but a little bit more blue. And as you head towards the star and you enter into Cleary's dream space, you find him once again, a shaft of light raining from above in a dark chasm. Him sitting in chains. Valhadrin, not Cleary.
Before I enter in, I want to really focus this time and try to make those chains melt away. And if I can, peel back the shaft of darkness to unfold into like this beautiful field of purple flowers and tall grass and arcing trees.
So, as all that happens, you see his face also just shifts as you begin to shift his dream into the face of Cleary. He turns around and says, "Hello, Seti. I didn't realize you were visiting me tonight. Hello."
Hi. I am sorry to barge in. I hope you don't mind.
Not at all. We have so little time to discuss with everything that's going on, and this is a great place to do it. So,
That's exactly what I
can
was
do for you?
thinking. You know, I feel like every time we've tried to talk lately, it's like you're always busy or preoccupied, or there's all these people around, or there's something really pressing that needs done, and so I felt kind of bad forcing my way in here, but well, you just said it. It's the best place to talk, I think, because we're just sleeping.
Sure. Yes, of course. What is it that you needed to talk about?
Well, I just feel like I don't know. I feel like we're not connecting, really. Like, again, everything's so rushed and there's so much pressure, and, you know, but everything that happened yesterday, today, whatever day it is, I was really scared. Not just for me. I mean, I was scared for me, but I thought they might have taken you. And they wouldn't tell me anything. And I thought if they had taken you, there was nothing I could do about it. I was completely powerless there. And that was
Trust
just
me,
it.
I know exactly what you were feeling. I had a very similar experience, and turns out mine was accurate. But no, I understand. Um, I'm sorry for worrying you.
No, that's not. The point is that, well, since we can't be interrupted and you can't run away from me, and I promise I won't run away either unless you tell me to get the fuck out. I just wanted to say that I haven't gotten over you. I
Oh.
It's just I miss you. Even when you're standing next to me, I miss you. And it's like my heart's been broken, but it broke all over again, thinking that you might be gone and there was nothing I could do and I might never see you again. And I feel like that, well, I know we have a lot to work through and a lot to unpack, and things are awkward and there are things that need to be made up for. But I feel like if you still care about me, and I still care about you, then what are we doing wasting all this time when we don't know how much we have?
I, you know, we're uh, I didn't know what to expect with your visit, and I I've had a very strange 24 hours, as I'm sure you have as well.
Yeah,
And I had a moment of pure bliss earlier today, and I was feeling guilty because it wasn't you. And I thought I was convinced after all this time, after how I hurt you and I lied to you, there was no possible way that you could feel that about me again. And I hated myself when she kissed me, and I I kissed her back, and it wasn't you, and I hated myself most of all just because I believed that there was no possibility that you could ever feel that way for me. And even now, I question whether you're you or just another
Well,
lie.
It is a dream, so maybe this wasn't the best place to have this conversation. But
But if this is truly how you feel, then I will do everything that I can to comprehend it and get back to you.
you'll get back to me. All right.
There's a lot of factors. First of all, I'm much, much older than you. Second of all, I lied to you, and we can't just get over that super fast. But then again, we don't have a whole lot of time. So there's lots of factors to work. You know what? We're in a dream. And you see as a chalkboard appears in front of him, and he takes up a piece of chalk and he begins doing like somewhere between like a graph and a Venn diagram, mixed with an alchemical formula.
Cheat, motherfucker.
With an alchemical formula, and he begins going like from all the different things. So you see, if you look at it logically,
Cleary, this isn't about logic. I know you're older than me, and yes, the lies really hurt, and I've been over this a million times with myself and with Propsy and with my mom, and it all boils down to that sometimes you just can't help who you fall for. I mean, my dad's 1 billion years older than my mom, and who cares? I guess, you know? If there are problems, let them be problems. But right now, I just want to be with you. And we can face those problems together if you want. Or not.
well, then if you'll excuse me, I apologize, because there's a very fair chance that once I stop kissing you, once I start, I will never stop. And he moves towards you.
Okay.
And then we will cut away from that.
Right before the faces touch.
RP the kiss, damn it! Walk to the other room.
No. That's not what we're here for. Meanwhile,
It's what Kita's here
as
for.
Fade to
That's what
black.
I'm here for.
we
I
fade
want
to
one
black.
kiss.
If you need more of that, go play Baldur's Gate.
Go play Baldur's
Exactly.
Gate.
No, I still want the fade to black. I just want
It
the one
fades- I'm just saying. They move in and we fade to black. Okay,
Yeah.
so
You pulled out light splitter.
he pulls out light splitter. He's like, I knew it was you. And then she pulls away his ulfer. Yeah, got you.
That would be a really good prank, though. I can do anything in the dream realm.
Okay,
You were gonna
is there
scar
anything
that poor
anybody
boy.
else
So
needs to
mean.
do tonight? Is there anything anybody else needs to do tonight? Grim, Bropsy, anything you guys have going on in the last
Nah.
moments before sleep takes you?
I
Grim's
need
just
to
been
know how
preparing
dream
his new
babies are
spells.
made.
You could have to talk to your dad about that one.
Well, I think there's something called dream protection, which is just as long as you're not intending to make a baby, it doesn't happen.
Okay.
I think your dad's probably making sure that there aren't any dream babies happening,
He better not be looking.
while also like trying not to look. Maybe I don't know.
He's got more important things to do.
I'm sorry. I just pictured him just like, billions of dreams happening at once, and then this happens, and she goes.
He just like turns off that screen, right?
He just starts like wincing for a moment, and just like, you can't turn it off. It's just there
Right.
happening, both completely in and out of his focus at all times.
Look.
Anyways,
Would like to watch it, just have to.
Said he puts a dream dome, obscuring dome.
there you go. Dream Dome. Perfect. All right. Anyways, not important. As you all find rest for the night, you dream and you become more as everybody takes their level.
Oh yeah, I level up.
Oh, look at you guys! Oh my goodness! I feel like I lost something, but I also feel like I got a level up.
Oh my god.
So bad. Okay. As you guys all rest and level up, and morning begins to greet you, some of you are greeted with the morning and the sound of coming from a basket has arrived outside of your door. The night before, you had to fill out questionnaires and have a proof of income, and there was
Over 4 now.
during your dream, you had to have a conversation with an all-powerful being who made sure that you measured up to the requirements of a pet parent, and you passed with flying colors for your particular creatures that you were receiving, because some
Maybe
of them
the
have
rest of you
specific needs
did.
that others do not.
They just
Some
gave
have
mine to me.
yeah, some have specific needs that others do not. And as you have your creatures with you, you wake up, Bropsy, and you see this little bright kitten mewing in your face. Just its eyes like brilliant sapphires as it looks straight into you.
How much time do I have before?
You guys need to head to Alchemy Roulette final round in the next 30 minutes.
That's enough time. I polymorph into a cat.
You polymorph into
Not
a
polymorph.
cat.
Wild shape.
You
Big
wild
difference.
shape into a cat. Very huge difference.
Very huge difference.
You wild shape into a cat. And as you wild shape into a cat, your new luminous cat friend looks at you. Its eyes get big, and it gets down, and its butt raises into the air, and its head gets low, and it goes, and it pounces at you.
We play.
Okay. You play with your kitten friend, and you are not alone there. As Seti wakes up from her dream, Seti, you wake up from your dream, and you see that there are 3 cats jumping around on top of a dragon creature.
I was gonna say I probably wake up because they're like doing the kitten pitter patter thing, like across the.
I
sheets, and, like-
imagine that they would have woken up at Bropsy going,
There's a
Okay,
radiant shit
fair
in the
enough.
corner too. Like it's this whole place is like it's become a mess. The mess and the glory that is kittens.
You guys are so cute. Oh, I would join, but I need my spell slots. I'll press to digitate a little spark, like a little laser pointer, basically, for them to chase.
Oh yeah,
Hold on.
nice. You guys have a fun 30 minutes before Bropsy needs to get ready.
I'll
go
also
to
bring out
Alchemy
some
Roulette.
breakfast from the bounty bag, so we can eat breakfast, complete with cat treats.
Grim, with your particular
Yes.
cat-like creature, as you wake up, you find that it is a slump of tentacles just like across your throat. And it's just
Aww.
like just left around, and it's kind of like purring, but it's also just like this vibrating mound of like massive, slightly furred, almost naked, like slimy skin.
Yeah, I just imagine that it's like because like Mr. Tentacles is still there.
Yeah.
Like I
So
imagine
Mr.
that Mr.
Tentacles and
Tentacles
him-
is like hanging out with him too, because they're kind of similar.
Yeah,
Sort of. And like obviously Ernie is gonna
they
get
get
along.
along. They get
Yeah.
along just fine. Like it's just like this little tentacle thing. It comes like as it crawls out of itself. It more or less looks like a normal kitten, just like really, like kind of like the photo there, just kind of like
Yeah.
strange. And you can like see like light kind of pulsing under its skin.
Oh, yeah.
Um,
I want to keep him safe, but I also want to use him because he's actually really useful. Like, I want to keep him safe. I need to level him up is what I need to do.
In the interim,
Yeah, no, so for right now, I mean, I want to just kind of like keep him. Sorry, Benny is very expressive today.
happens.
So yeah, and mostly everybody's going to get a good berry, of course, because it's morning time. And Farkitten is going to get played with, and Mr. Tentacles is going to show him the tentacle ropes, as it were. And I'm sure he'll have lots of fun interacting with Ernie,
yeah,
even
I'm
though they
sure that
don't
once he
speak the
realizes that
same
Mr. Tentacle
languages.
once he realizes Mr. Tentacles just basically just like adheres to your skin and like hangs out under your clothes, he kind of adopts the same sort of situation. He finds an area that's like got the right kind of smell, the right level of darkness, and he kind of like he probably ends up somewhere around your armpit.
Right.
And then he'll like slink around, but you'll feel him like sliming his way around like underneath your breastplated armor. Just like all the time, just having a time and like chasing Mr. Tentacles. It has become quite a lively situation within your frocks.
I mean, Grim is essentially a living colony
He's an
of
ecosystem,
life.
basically.
Grim is an ecosystem by design. Yeah, so like that. Yeah, it's just make yourself at home. And so, he's just like, okay, you weird little guy, you're right. This is where you belong. So, and he'll give him little tentacle switches and stuff. But mostly he's little, and he'll be like, okay, how do I keep this little thing from dying because it's really little? So he'll make sure that he's just kind of like somewhere where he's not going to get one shot. So.
Yeah, I mean, like it is what it is. You know, he's hanging out. He's under your armor. I mean, typically speaking, he won't take damage unless you get crushed.
Right. Yeah. Which
or
hopefully is
disintegrated.
unlikely.
Like
But
reasonably speaking, normal attacks, he's gonna just be fine in there, moving around. He just moves to areas of your armor that aren't dented, right? So
yeah, and he seems pretty competent. So
yeah, he's not super smart, but
he's not super smart, but he's
not dumb as a box.
Yeah, and he's
smarter
not
than most animals.
He's not super squishy, but
not as squishy as Kita's cat is.
Kita's
cat is even squishier.
Hers isn't. Is hers? Oh, you said they're all immortal, right?
Well, to some degree, yeah. I mean, like
to some degree,
hers has things too. You guys can talk about your kittens if you'd like and show each other your character sheets. I just didn't want to show without
my character sheet.
Oh, is it down there in the?
Yeah.
I don't know where the link for mine is. I guess I could find it.
Yeah, let me. I can send you the link. Hold up. I
just have him on my sheet, but yeah, he's cool. He'll disappear if something happens to him, and he'll come back. But I'd have to go find him, I guess. Hopefully, he knows to come home. I hope so. I need to find out a name for him.
He's a brand new kitten. He's getting used to you.
No, within 10 miles.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So we'll just have to keep his litter box somewhere he can smell it. Follow the smell of Kalidas, I guess, and find the tower.
You're gonna have to teach him before he dies. Yeah. Sometime before he dies, you should probably train him.
Or better yet, I'm gonna train Ernie. Train Ernie to smell him and find him. Because Ernie is a pig, and pigs have a much better
sense of smell. Pigs have an incredible sense of smell.
Yeah.
So Ernie would be very good at finding him.
You're not wrong, actually. Anyways, but as you guys have your kittens for the morning, you get ready for Alchemy Roulette. It's up to you if you'd like to keep. Well, I mean, yours will just be under your clothes. But if you'd like to take your kitten with you to Alchemy Roulette, in the meantime,
allowed? Yeah.
I can hold it while you're competing.
You've had your little dragon baby thing sitting on your shoulder the whole time.
Amazing.
Yeah, they're just there.
It's those things are always with you guys. Like they don't go more than 10 feet away from you. Those are always there. We never talk about them, but they're always either hiding under your armor or snuggled up in your clothes, or they're just fucking with something in the background. We just forget to talk about them.
My guess is Mr. Tentacles probably spends most of his time just kind of like on one of Grimm's shoulders, just kind of like sleeping or something, and kind of like occasionally opens his eye to look. Just like
I think he hides among the mushrooms that have the eyes, the gas tyrant spores. I think he
Yeah.
hides among those, and like most of the time you can't tell he's there. But
He's
then,
just
like
like,
every now and again, you
I
just
fought that
notice
thing
that.
that one time.
They're living that
I
retired
did my
life.
part.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They're
Fought that.
retired.
What did we fight? Charybdis or whatever? Like,
Charybdis. Yeah.
yeah. He's like, I did my time. I'm gonna chill now. Like, I'm
Unless
good.
somebody gives him a fruit and turns him into a big boy, his purpose is just until you tell
Yeah.
him to do something is just chill.
Yeah. He's a unit.
Yeah.
Absolute
All right.
unit.
So as you guys greet the morning, is there anything anybody would like to do before we head over to Alchemy Roulette last round?
Panic.
I think Oren will stop by Bropsy's to walk her to Alchemy Roulette.
Yeah, you walk in and you see just a whole bunch of kittens shit running around, and you see Seti just being like, "Don't do that!" Just like stopping them
Seti
from
was
doing things.
definitely telling Kitten Bropsy about her night.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so you walk in.
Bropsy is
I
not
want
a
you
kitten.
to.
Bropsy is an adult cat, like mommy shape.
Okay, Cat Bropsy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Seti's just like, on her belly on the mattress, feet kicking behind her, like you do a sleepover, and you're gossiping with your girlfriends.
Mm-hmm.
And
You walk in and you see this, and you're like, and then the door opens and you see Oren come in, and the whole room gets dead quiet.
You see like a more buffed up Oren come in.
You guys look at Oren, and he's just fucking ripped.
Did you change your hair?
Bropsy will meow.
Is it not
bounce
flowing up
and rub
anymore?
on his leg.
Something's
cat do.
different.
Bropsy, what?
This one's
Bropsy
Bropsy.
is bouncing up and rubbing on Oren's leg like cat do.
Yeah, it's like a pink cat. We pretty much know it's Bropsy.
I'm very familiar with this form.
You're not allergic to cats, are you?
I'm not allergic to anything.
Yeah, that tracks.
Not anymore. It's like not even.
Well, I guess it's time to do things, huh? Okay.
Yeah, well, yep. For Bropsy. For this little kitty. Reaches down and gives her head pats.
I will get to that in a minute, Simner, when we get in there.
Okay. Yeah, I was just wondering if I could cheat
This'll
sheet
be-
real
this'll-
quick.
This is going to be significantly different than our last two.
I didn't know how it was gonna
Okay,
work. If I should just familiarize myself at least with the names or
You
something.
can look at. I'll tell you this. You can both look as much as you want at the potion thing, right?
Because it's gonna be that different. That it's like
It's going to be that different. Doesn't matter.
okay.
Oren's just going to pick Bropsy up, put her on one shoulder, and then
It's an 8-hour thing.
get
that
the
we're doing,
glowy
right?
kitten, put him on the other one,
No, you guys are going to have 3 hours to complete your potion.
and be like, all right, let's go.
Oh, wait, how long is it supposed to take? I mean, wait, how long? I forget how long
Are
the
we
time
using the
dial
time
cauldrons
dial?
reduce things.
Usually up to a 10th of the time. You're making uncommon potions.
Oh, I
well,
thought we were making
technically-
rare potions.
Technically, you're making anything you want. Anyways, we'll get to that.
We'll get it.
All right. So, anybody got anything else that they would like to do, or are you guys making your way to the arena, as it were? And this is packed as you guys head towards there. You guys can see the hallways are just murmuring. It's the last day. There are people who are clamoring through the halls of your edition to get to the alchemy arena, because this is the big finale, and it really matters points wise almost more than any other competition. Who wins alchemy roulette?
The big show. Well, I'm just walking with some kittens right now. I don't know. And Seti. I assume Seti's coming too.
Yeah, I'll come too.
That he's holding her little baby kitten, probably, or what are you
Yeah.
doing with your kitten?
I mean, I thought about leaving it with Azurus, but it would be their first unsupervised time together. So I feel like, fuck it.
Too
Yeah,
soon.
I left.
It's too soon
no,
for that.
I left mine with Azurus. They're
Oh,
buds.
You're all right, kitten. I'm your new mama. Listen to the dragon.
Promise I don't do that.
Yeah, no.
Yeah,
In
so
case
you spent-
Varuna abducts me again, I don't want to have my kitten with me.
Fair enough. As your
You could
kitten
have just had Orin on
snuggles up
babysitter
next
duty. You could
to.
have one kitten on each shoulder, and
Okay,
Bropsy
well,
could
in
just be
case Emberuna
Bropsy.
abducts him, I don't want my kitten.
Ain't nobody abducted me.
All
I got
right.
eyes
So,
like an eagle.
so as you guys, I'm
And I
going to say
don't.
head into the arena.
My
Bropsy,
perception is actually quite bad.
Yeah.
Bropsy and Grim, you guys
No,
look
don't.
around. My goodness. Let's focus.
No, never.
As you guys look around, you see the 6 other contestants, the other participants in the final round of Alchemy Roulette. From the Prime Thought, you have Mixbot Mark IV, who stands there in its robotic form, its big mixing belly, looking at the time dial cauldron in front of it dispassionately, its robotic eye seeming to zoom in and out. It has no idea how to work such a thing. And you can see in the audience, the one that's in control, the one that was with the Mixbot that was actually telling it what to do in the original event, is just sitting there on the other side, just biting her arm, going and saying, grab it, just touch the, trying to give him advice, but he doesn't know how to do things without her, and he's in the final
Oh,
round
no.
of Alchemy Roulette.
This is gonna go
You see
really
the
well for him.
Illithid Clorda from the Risen Mind of Ystrandi. You can see it as she waves and she walks in and she begins heading to her alchemy table, workbench, and begins setting up. She's like blushing, and you've never seen an Illithid blush before, but her head kind of gets kind of pinkish, and like around the tentacles, it's all red. She gets in position. Fira from the High Realm Academy walks in, lifts her arms up into the air gloriously, and heads to her position. You see that there is nobody representing the University of Phoenix or Cerceria in the final. But Bropsy walks in from Neverwinter Academies. Bropsy, are you doing any fanfare as you walk in or anything? This is the last day of competition.
No.
Bropsy walks in
No.
quietly. There's
So humble, that one.
Did you bring your kitten with you or no?
I have it,
Orin,
the kitten.
Orin, yeah.
Orin has the kitten. Okay, yeah. So you just go in
give,
there and
I
you've
give
got
both a kiss before I go down. Both my babes.
okay.
What about
You
me?
get down in your
I'm right
position
here.
and you look
Oh,
around.
you get a kiss too.
Everybody gets
Thank
a
you.
peck, more specifically. So, as you get in position,
She starts
maybe a
kissing the
little
rest of the
wave her
audience.
wing. No, this is our 4th chair of Black Stour. Finds his position. He's this very regal-looking wizard in just black robe, or he would be wearing black robes, and generally black robes with blue adornments, and the rat symbol on his chest. He's mid-30s, and he's got like this very Doctor Strange vibe to him. He goes and he like sort of meanders over. Dr. Epidemia from Necrom Academy is still in it. They come in full-on witch doctor. We've got Feywild's Teachings. Grim makes his way. Any fanfare, anything you're doing as you come in?
I mean, it's Grim, so he's gonna be like waving tentacles.
Tentacles start waving through the air. Some people are grossed out. Other people are like cheering. That are like into this because they've watched you through the whole competition.
I've seen Grim. That's what Grim does. He makes tentacles and just weird.
Silverwind Academy has no representative. Chordal Academy has no representative. But Al Dusk drifts in, a hooded black cloaked figure. You can tell if you look closely enough that he's got these black claw-like hands coming out from underneath the robes, and these sort of black drenched tentacles, almost like dripping black ink, would be coming underneath the robe, but only if you are very, very observant. Otherwise, it just looks like a black figure hovering into the arena. He finds his position, and he glances over at Grim, and he gives you a nod.
Be like, oh, hey, bro.
Yes, hello, you hear it in your mind. Let's have a fair competition today. I look forward to seeing how well we do.
People just think that. I mean,
who will walk away with a new trinket?
there's not just 2 of us here, but I mean, good luck. Grim's not gonna cheat, so don't worry.
He looks at the rest of them and he goes, amateurs.
Rude.
I mean, I don't know that the lady, she looks pretty smart.
He looks over at her, and the second that he looks over her, you see that she immediately like kind of gets rigid and looks over in your direction, and she almost looks frightened.
Oh, but don't be mean to her. She seems nice,
like,
you know.
It's not my fault. I send no ill vibes. She simply senses my imminence.
Oh, is she like your ex?
We knew each other for a time.
Oh, okay, well, don't let me get in your way. That sounds, like we got a history, and like I'm just here to make a potion. I haven't made a decision yet or anything. He was like thinking all this, and then he's just like moving hands, and people are really looking at him.
Like, what?
Him's not a very subtle person. All about the communication, he's still making hand gestures.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love it.
Anyway, so oh yeah, there, we're here for this. Okay.
Okay. So,
Potion.
you guys get to your position, and once again, springing out of the ground, there is a tubular individual who comes out and says, "Welcome to Alchemy Roulette Round 3. These the finest alchemists in all of High Realm Academy. Not High Realm Academy. Selindor Academy."
Do we have anybody from High Realm here? I can't
Yes,
remember.
Fira. Just
Oh,
Fira.
okay.
From Selindor Academy, here to compete and show their stuff. Today you have 3 hours to complete your best potion that you can complete in such a time. You have everything at your disposal, and as he gestures, these slots just pop out from all sides. You just see every ingredient you could ever imagine. Nothing's labeled, and it's all mixed and mashed together, but this is everything you could possibly imagine. Anything that you've ever wanted, alchemically speaking, is here and spread out onto these tables that just shoot out from the walls as these little slots pop out for them. It's everything. It says, choose your potion wisely. You must create your potion within the 3-hour time limit, and then you must demonstrate its use. If you need an aid in such a thing, one will be provided. Do not worry. We have clerics on standby should you choose to make a poison. Meanwhile, the choice is yours. 3 hours, a time dial cauldron, and every ingredient available. Make your best potion. Begin. So, you guys have 3 hours.
Cue the Mortal Kombat music.
Mortal Kombat! Dun, 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 dun. Sorry. So you guys can look through the almanac, and you are going to be making 4 rolls to complete your. This is formulaic. 1 is going to be gathering your ingredients. The second roll is going to be your preparation of the ingredients. Third roll is going to be your use of the time dial cauldron. Fourth roll is completing your potion back to your normal skill check, and the last one is your presentation. So a little bit more difficult than previous rolls, but you will be making 5 in total. Person with the best roll total at the end will win.
Here's a
What do you mean
question.
presentation? Are we plating our potions?
You are going to demonstrate your potion's efficacy, however you would like.
So here's a question then. For these potions. So I know you said uncommon because it's like 1/10 of the time, right?
That will put you at 2.4 hours.
2.4 hours, right? Are we able to make a higher quality potion by using higher quality ingredients?
You may certainly attempt to.
That's my question.
You may certainly attempt to.
Wondering if that's
Determined by the ingredients roll.
It's really going to
Well-
be determined by your ingredients roll and what you're going for.
well.
So-
I have. Well, can we use the ingredients that we have?
You are meant to use what is supplied to you and nothing else.
Okay, so I cannot use my bioluminescent red amanitas.
You certainly try.
Well, if it's not allowed, Grim's not going to break the rules.
Oh, if you're not going to break the rules, then no.
He's not
technically
going
it's
to.
not.
Yeah, Grim's not going to cheat. Like he.
Yes, but
yeah.
you could look specifically for glowing.
Yeah, he's gonna
emanating
look
mushrooms.
for.
You
he's
can
gonna
make
look
that
for.
your.
Yeah. He'll make like a nature check to or perception to find ingredients that look like they are of superior quality to things that would not to the ingredients that he would normally use after I decide what the heck I'm making.
To
Wouldn't
do so, I'm
necessarily
going to
do
say
that.
is going to require more precision. So you will have a higher DC to get what you
Mhm.
need. But if you
I'm gonna-
succeed in the
yeah.
DC, then that is going to give you advantage on the prep stage, or not the prep stage, but the give you advantage on the time dial stage to
Okay.
get your time to work.
Okay, so what I'm going to do then, I think I'll go for something simple. and then just try to make an amazing version of it.
So Kita, you can look at the potion list and you can make any potion you would like. That one you're familiar with or not familiar with. Choose one that you know, so you make sure that you don't have to deal with disadvantage on anything, maybe. But in general, your pick. What you got?
I'm gonna go look at the
This
mushrooms
is meant
and
to
see if
test
they have.
how well you can perform under pressure as an alchemist.
I'm gonna go look at the mushrooms, of course, and the oils. I'm specifically looking to see if there are any pixie parasols that look of exceptional quality.
Pixie parasols of exceptional quality. You looking for pixie parasols and amanita mushrooms for your ingredients?
No. I'm gonna make midnight oil.
Okay, so you're looking for pixie. So for pixie parasols, go ahead and just in general, you can either make me an investigation check, a perception check, or a survival check.
Well, then I'm gonna make a perception check, and I will use what you call it. What is that ability? What's a spell? I'm gonna use. I'm gonna do a third level enhanced ability, and as I am using it, I'm gonna kind of just walk past Bropsy and cast it too. Just save a spell slot.
Mhm.
And then I rolled that once, but well, anyway, 25 per perception.
25. Keep that number. Write it down. This is your
Yep.
first number in your series of 5.
Do you want me to roll?
25. You find pixie parasol that does have a hint of bioluminescence. Whatever it is that made this one special, this one seems to have also had that special quality. You were able to pick it out and get what you need for your recipe. This will give you advantage during that phase.
Okay. And I'm also looking for like oils. I mean, if there's oils of any kind of exceptional clarity, like that look, just same thing, right? I mean, if
this is going to be a separate roll from your total roll, the 25 is the one that's going to count towards
right,
that.
exactly. Yeah, I don't want to
specifically the oil. Go ahead and make me in this situation. Make me an investigation check.
Okay.
This is your extra little bit to just be like glancing around. Is there an oil? People are grabbing. Everybody's grabbing at one time too. So materials are getting snatched up. Ones that you want, even.
Yeah, my investigation roll did not go well. So it's a 6. Investigation.
You end up finding what you need, but you don't find anything that's going to give you any additional help along the way.
All right, dog me,
Bropsy, what would you like to do for your potion and poison, whatever you would like to make? What would you like to pick or work on?
Well, my first thought was obviously a big heal potion, but it's cat day, so I'm going to make a potion of resistance specifically to radiant damage.
Okay, potion of resistance, radiant damage. Okay. As you begin getting the ingredients, you can make me a survival, perception, or investigation check to gather your ingredients that you need to make this potion.
$23.
23. Keep that number down, and you do find what you need. You weren't looking for anything that was like to speed up your process, but you do, however, find very good ingredients, which is going to make your next step easier in preparation because you rolled well in your acquisition. So you will get advantage in the next step of the process, which is ingredient preparation.
Doesn't really matter if we get advantage though, because we have the.
Oh, because you guys are using enhance ability. Well, it matters to me.
I mean,
also,
I'm using
enhance ability only lasts so long too. So
that's true.
We can always
is a 3 hour
between the two of us.
I'm proficient in, so I know midnight oil, which is kind of why I'm doing that one specifically.
Yeah.
I'm trying to do it with better ingredients, like trying to make. Like, my goal is like, okay, I'm going to do one that I know and just do it the very best version of this one,
So you're basically making like an uncommon midnight oil, but you're trying to make it higher quality if possible.
Right, exactly. I'm like, trying to crit success on, because I'm not going to be able to make a rare oil in this time, like a rare something in this time.
Cool.
Yeah. Let's see. Let's set up I'm gonna lay out my template for all my rolls to keep track. So there's 5 rolls, you said, right?
Correct. And I'm not gonna lie, most people did not do well. I've already rolled for everybody else. And you can already see problems arising with individuals. Some people aren't able to get their materials. You can see the women in the audience yelling at Mixbox Mark IV. Just go for a simple potion. Just make something. Anything. Move. Just yelling at him from the audience. And he just goes, and he just looks, and he like picks things up. And it's like, and begins moving to things. And eventually it does start like gathering some materials, like it's going to make some sort of what appears to be basic healing potion. And she's just like, oh, it's like, I've got to teach it to think now.
It's gonna make soup.
So I mean, there's you can already tell Mixbuck Mark IV is out of this. Everybody else seems to gather their materials though, without a hitch. Some people maybe don't get the ones that they want, but everybody, they have the eye. They're able to get more or less what they need. So, moving on. As you guys begin processing your ingredients, some things need squeezed, some things need chopped, some things need ground into a powder. As you begin working on these materials, go ahead and make me a skill check that is matching the type of potion making that you're working with. So if you're doing alchemy, use intelligence with proficiency. If you're doing herbalism, then do wisdom with proficiency. And intelligence is also what you would use if you're doing poison. So
Then I'm going to go ahead and recast my spell for the intelligence one, so you're going to have to cast it on yourself. I'm sorry. You'll have to recast your own enhanced ability there.
That's fine.
Because I'm going to recast it for intelligence. That's really cute. So
you already have advantage, so you don't need to recast it if you don't want to.
oh, that's right. You're right.
You don't
My
have advantage
bad.
on this step. She has advantage on this step, so you cast it would give you
Well, I
advantage on
have
this step. You have
advantage
advantage
'cause I
on the
have-
next step. You have advantage on the timed out step.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So
So I
what
need
is
to
it?
recast it
Intelligence
anyway
plus-
then.
So you would need to recast it if you wanted it. She, on the other hand, would.
Well, I'm recasting it anyway. This is
Okay.
going to be a +5 to whatever this is. So a 21 for me.
21. Write that number down. You seem to process your materials a lot better than some of the other ones around you. You see that there are individuals. The first chair, our fourth chair, who's our fourth chair, seems to be like working very intently on this, but he's distracted. You're not sure exactly what he's looking at, but he keeps looking at somebody in the audience. And he kind of like starts sweating, and he's like working on it like as best he can, but he's like under a lot of pressure. And you can see that he like cuts himself a little bit. He's like, nope, and he moves some other materials and like starts back over again. Like he seems very nervous, and you can tell even from a glance that he didn't quite process his materials correctly.
Poor guy.
And he was
He's just a
working with
baby.
ghost, and he was working with white ghost orchid seeds.
I'm distracting him with the kitty, aren't I?
You're not sure.
His girlfriend's there, and she's just like
Fira seems
making
to
eyes
do
at him.
a good job mixing her materials. Like she uses like flames that she seems to conjure out of nowhere to like heat and reduce things. And she's working with like different like fire embers and stuff like that. And there's like this little small explosions coming from her table. People are working though. People are working. Some people are failing. Some people are succeeding. Al Dusk is telekinesising everything around his table and working perfectly like a machine. Prophecy, what did you roll?
26.
26. Write that number down. Keep it. And you do a wonderful job processing your materials. Now we're going to head into the phase for using the time dial cauldron to accelerate your work. Working with a time dial cauldron is something neither of you have done. You'll be making an Arcana check to work it.
Oh, boy.
You have advantage, Grim, when doing this check. Brupsy, as far as I know, you do not have Arcana advantage.
Then I will cast Enhance Ability to get her.
Well, Arcana is int, which you.
It's intelligent based. She was on
Yeah.
Wisdom.
Oh, you were on wisdom.
Yeah, I recast for intelligence for that. Yeah, but yeah, whatever.
I don't need spell slots. I need advantage.
Okay. Well, if you want to have advantage for this whole thing, then you're going to need to cast it however many times it would take to function it for 2.5 hours of brewing.
They get less an hour each
Different.
time, so each
two.
basically each yeah.
Basically 2 slots.
All right, come
Doesn't really
on,
necessarily-
big
I'll
money,
get
no
Grim too,
whammies.
just like
Big
after
money,
his
no whammies.
advantage
Big money,
wears
whammy,
out.
whammies. It's a 14. I don't have proficiency on that, do we?
No, you have to
Oh.
add 5.
Unless you
Settings.
have it.
14. So that's like the worst roll Grim's done in Alchemy Roulette.
Yeah.
What'd you roll, Grapsy?
An 11.
As you guys begin working with your time dial cauldron, you find that it is significantly more difficult than you thought. Moving in an accelerated pace, trying to brew something without overbrewing it or underbrewing it, those crucial moments, it's turn it up, slow it down in such a way that you can then access the ingredients, pull it, and then proceed to the next step. Some people are capable of doing a constant brew. You watch as so many of the competitors are falling apart on this step, not capable of keeping
I'm
track of
assuming
it.
the Blackstaff guy
you
and
see
Aldusk
Clorda
are probably
begins-
doing okay.
the
Or the
person from
elephant are the only
Blackstaff
one.
Tower, person from Blackstaff Tower takes his time dial cauldron, activates it, and he's still sweating, but you see as he calms down, he's like, whatever happened to the ingredients happened, I'm working. And he perfectly
Right.
tunes that
I'm
time
gonna
dial cauldron.
say,
He knows
like, that dude's
exactly what he's
probably
doing.
Lacana. Yeah.
Can I? Is it allowed if I use a breath of encouragement? It does inspiration.
I'm gonna say that
Can you
no,
inspire
because you
yourself?
have already finished your roll, and I don't think you can
Mhm.
inspire yourself.
If you want to inspire Grim, feel free.
I mean,
Fira, at
if it
this
works,
point,
I'll do it for Grim.
Fira begins working on this part of the machine, and she is having a really hard time. Clorda as well is having a hard time. Neither one of them knows even remotely how to work this device, and they are having catastrophic failures as they're trying to put the different things in. But they know that they can't stop. They can't give up. They have to just push out the best potion they can. So you see sweat, beaded brows all over this location, including all of you.
What's the inspiration die on that? If you're inspiring Grim,
Sim?
Based off the Bardic Inspiration for the same level.
So it'd be a D10.
I believe so,
Right,
okay.
yes.
it doesn't matter which roll I use it on, since it's going to be used at some point anyway. Or should I just go ahead and use it?
If you use it now, you can use it on this roll specifically.
Okay,
I can always do it again. I have breath points.
that's true. Well, that would make a difference then. If you didn't want it,
Bropsy
You know what I
seems to
mean?
be struggling, and as she's doing so, you feel like this breath just like you feel this wind like pick up beneath you, and suddenly your mind clears up. The haze of the fumes seems to like fall away from you, and you seem somehow more capable of focusing than you were. Bropsy still looks fucking like stressed out working on this. She's never worked on something so hard chemically, but she's still like got a pencil up in her ear, quote unquote ear.
Oof.
She's just working hard, doing her best, brewing with some of the best alchemists out there. You're holding your own.
Grim's like,
Lauren's
oh
just
gosh,
like,
I got to
look
do
at your
something nice
mommy
for her.
making potions.
What I got to do for her? Okay, let me see.
It nibbles you, and you take no radiant damage because
In the back of his mind, he's like, okay, what things do I have to do? What
I'm
spells do I have that
immune to
can help
radiant.
her?
All right. So as you guys are working on this next step, you move on from the time dial cauldron and begin to finalize your potion. The last little bits you begin to pull out and check. You take it to litmus paper, those for things that you need to just see if like it changes. Does it change the right color? Is there anything I can add last minute to try to fix this? Or it's just bottling and portioning for those that did it perfectly. However, still a crucial step. Go ahead and make me a skill check that is relevant. So this is going to be for alchemy intelligence plus proficiency, for herbalism wisdom plus proficiency.
Oh, so wait, so intelligence proficiency. Sorry, because it's an alchemical potion because it's an oil,
Yes, intelligence plus proficiency.
right? Where's my brain at? Making sure that it is one of those. Yeah, it's an alchemy potion. Advantage. Roll.
27.
Here we go. Oh, geez, that's bad. That's very bad. That's a 14 again.
I'll use another breath for you.
Oh, thank you. Let's hope I roll
One
really well again.
one of us better win. Like, if you win and get the time down, that's fine. It
I
still
rolled,
benefits the
I rolled a
group.
1 on your inspiration roll, but still,
Oh
15's better
no!
than a 14.
As you get the potion out, you know something is wrong. This color is wrong.
Oh.
Whatever it was, you definitely had the right ingredients, but for the cook time for this new ingredient, it was definitely something that probably needed a significantly longer cook time to get it to do what you needed to do. It was definitely capable of covering the difference in the materials that to make it a higher efficacy potion. The problem was it just needed that much more time. And so you put an unfinished potion down at the table, but you're running low on time. And as you place in the last little drop and you get it all situated, it is what it is.
Not that bad. I mean, I still have, what do I have on here so far? 81 points. So that's not terrible so far.
81 points. Yeah. So 81 points means that you made a quote unquote flawed potion
Okay.
in the amount of time. The only way to make a perfect potion was to get 100 or better in 4 rolls.
Oof. Which would have been 25s on everything. Oof.
If you got a 90 or better, then you would have had a functional potion, no flaws. Like, it just wouldn't have been a perfect potion.
My round 2 score was 128 in 5 rolls.
Yep.
So bad.
You just fell apart. Propsy, what did you roll on your last section?
It was 27 for a total of 87. So I guess
Total of 87. Very close. You have a flawed potion. It isn't perfect, but you trust it well enough to be a potion. Same with Grim. Like, you trust it well enough to it should have more or less the same effects.
In my defense, in the previous rounds, you did let us use wisdom or intelligence for the potions, and that's why my scores were so much better.
I absolutely would have chosen the other potion.
So that's part of why it was usually better.
Yeah, you were supposed to use the one that matched the type of potion you were doing, and then
no, I know, but you had said intelligence or wisdom, so
gotcha.
Yeah.
I probably just wasn't clear. But anyways, moving forward, you guys now have to present your potion. How would you like to present your potion? I will say that you guys are going to go in order a presentation that is marked for the school order. So Mixbot Mark 4 will go first. As he comes up, he finishes jiggling and takes out what appears to be a lesser healing potion, just a plain old healing potion. They place this in front of them, and he says nothing, and they say, "Well, what did you make there, Mixbot?" And it gestures, and she's just crying, and she looks over and is like, that's a healing potion, yes." And he goes, "Healing potion complete." He goes, he looks over the rest of the room and says, "Okay." And they start taking some notes down, and they move on to the next person. Risen Mind of Ystrani, Clorda looks at them, and they look at Clorda, and then they look back at what she has made, and it is a black substance. She looks embarrassed. Say, "And you made here?" "It was an attempted Blighticker." "Blighticker? Okay, and so we're going to be applying this to... I will drink it myself. No other shall suffer for my failures. Are you certain?" "I am certain." "Well, look, we have a brave one here." So she takes it, and she ticks back, and you see...
Grim can interrupt her. Grim will interrupt her if you want. Be like, I can do it. You don't have to drink that.
She just holds up her hand, and as she tips her head back, the tentacle pours in the vial, and then there's this moment...
"I'm immune to poison. It's okay."
And her face begins to turn like really red, and then her eyes bug out, and she begins walking into the wall. And they say, "Yep, that'll happen. And they begin taking notes. Next is from High Realm Academy, Fira. Fira says, "Don't worry, I got this one." And they look at it, and they're like, "And this was fire, both of potion of fire breathing." "Sorry? Potion of fire breathing." And it is not a potion of fire breathing. I'll drink it myself. And as she drinks it, she takes it in, and as it does, her body immolates. From the inside out, her mouth opens, and there's just flames shooting out, and it's coming out of her ears and her eyes, and her whole body catches fire. And she goes, "Don't worry, I'm fine. And then she just goes, sits down, and the bench starts catching fire, and she just buries her head in her hands, and she's just on fire sitting there. Very well. Takes notes, moves on to the next one. Who's our fourth chair? And he says, it's supposed to be an elixir of life. I prefer not to imbibe. Very well, we will get you. And so he hands the elixir of life to the guy, and he's like, this is the wrong color.
I'll drink it. Why won't people give me these potions?
They need
Say,
to see the
I
effect.
get paid for every one of these I drink. He tips his head back and he throws it back, and you watch as he immediately starts throwing up. He says, yep, that is poison. You have to be careful with white ghost orchid seeds. Very well. Moving on to the next one. So far, everybody has failed. Bropsy, what do we have here?
It's not perfect, but it's a potion of invulnerability.
Invulnerability? I thought it was resistance radiance.
Oh, is it? Or is it? Hold up.
That's
Probably
what you
re-
said you were making.
Yeah,
You
that's what
are
he said.
right. It is resistance.
Yeah, you wouldn't
That
have been
is
able to make
different.
invulnerability in that time because it's rare quality, and
Yeah.
that would have been way harder to do.
Yeah. All right. So as you do that, he goes, "Not bad, not bad. Seems adequate." And how will you be presenting?
I mean, I can drink it myself.
Grabsy, I can drink it, and you can cast Moonbeam on me.
Yeah, that was my plan. I was gonna do it to myself. Are you?
If you
Why you would-
need assistance with your demonstration, we have paid individuals who are here to
Would you like to
imbibe.
get moonbeamed, sir?
Experiments
I'll give money for each one I'll drink.
You can still pay him. It's
okay,
just
then.
fun to do the experimenting, you know? It's part of the
I
science.
just feel bad hurting someone.
Contestants, we do not wish for you to have any adverse effect from another potion. If you might be imbibing a potion yourself, it will make it unclear as to the actual results, and it will sully the results of our exam. We will not be using competitors in demonstrations. Please take your seat, sir. Meanwhile, you're doing this. While you're doing this, you sit down and you see like a very long silvery paw comes out and is like pawing at the table. It's like 2 feet long, just like tentacle like hand, like a little tiny paw comes out from your like underneath your robe, and is just like trying to pull something gently off the table, just like reaching, just.
What's it trying to get?
It just looks like your bottle of oil is just slowly being
Nope, you can't have
touched
that.
and pulled.
No.
You take it and you move it.
Don't
And it
knock
just
it
goes-
over.
All the claws come out and they get like extra long, and it just keeps reaching a little bitty bit.
Grim will just kind of like put his hand in the way, be like, no, kitty, it's okay.
You put the paw back and it comes out from the other side of your armor and is trying to grab something from the other side.
I'll just like put my hand on the bottle, be like, no, kitty.
Okay.
You can have something else to knock off
You
later.
feel something purr underneath your armor as it tries
Okay,
to reach.
you
for
can
things
knock
and
something
keep
else
moving
off the
stuff.
counter later. We don't do that right now. Not after that. It's been 3 hours doing.
People just watch as Grim starts talking to himself, and little weird things keep coming out of his armor, and he pokes them back. All right, so you watch the guy. He drinks the potion of resistance. He's like, "All right, I'm ready."
I feel like I should have asked how many hit points he has first of all, just in case.
Cast it at second or
Because
third level, whatever it is.
if he a low baby, this might still one hit.
I think if you
I'm
cast it
ready.
at second level, then
well,
just
first
like
of all, it's a
immediately
con
dispel it.
18 save.
Natural 20.
Okay. So is it
Takes
half
half
and then
damage.
half?
Half
Yeah,
and then half.
So half would be 6, and half of that would then be 13. If the potion was
3.
3
third.
or 12
What
and
did I
6.
say?
What did you? What was the actual number?
I
you
don't know
rolled?
what I said.
She
I
rolled
rolled
12.
You said
6 and
half
3.
of 6 is 13.
Yeah.
So
I was looking at numbers like.
He was thinking 3, and she applied the 3 to the
all right,
thing.
3.
Yeah,
Yeah, I know what happened. It's just, that's what was said.
Yeah.
Okay, so 3. So 3. So he goes, ooh, yeah, it's real bright. It's burning my flesh, but less probably than it would be burning my flesh otherwise. Ow!
Yeah, you need a
It says-
control. You need someone that didn't drink the potion.
He's like, wait. Oh, somebody says that actually we need to control Gary, and they drag him out. And they're like, I was here to tell jokes. No,
Oh no! Harry might die.
So they put the light on Gary.
Get in the moonbeam.
You roll a 3, and you watch this guy go, he just like sits there, and he gets like roasting, and the like light turns off, and then you see, and he's just like, and they come, and then somebody walks out and cure wounds, and his flesh comes back, and he's just like.
See, I would have done that. I feel
Never
bad.
came bad with a wizard, and he just walks out.
That's why they get paid the big bucks.
I hope so.
So he says, "Sorry, he owed me money. Now his slate is clean." So you guys move on. Just write something down for Bropsies. Dr. Epidemia, what do we have here? And here, it's poison of malice. Right, and feed it to Gary. He says, what? No, I'm out of this. And he's like, no, I like your logic. We will feed it to Gary. No, we were clear. We were, no. They pour it into Gary's mouth. People are cheering in the audience. And he's like,
Poor Gary.
Now, this poison makes you blind, Gary. Are you blind? No, actually, I think I'm only partially blind. I see. It begins taking notes. You gonna fix this one? You can suffer a moment. He more than owes me money. He also slept with my wife. And begins moving on to the next one.
That's fair game then.
The Modron said that?
No, this isn't Modron. This is a wizard
That
that
would be
came
really
out to
funny
test
if the
these.
Modron
This is a wizard, okay?
Okay.
So you guys didn't get an introduction on who this wizard is, but
Like,
yeah.
damn, that is a Modron right there.
This is a wizard.
These weird, like,
Feywild
half
speaking, we
Modrons
have
running around.
Grim.
Oh,
What have you produced for us today?
Grim will take his little potion, just make sure there's no little cat paws coming out. It's bring it. But okay, well, no, we can't drink this one, because this is not how it works. But Grim made a midnight oil.
Good night, oil.
It's
Okay,
not
let us
perfect.
see.
It's not perfect. The flame will probably not quite as bright as normal, so it might take little longer to be the full effect. You might not get,
I see,
full
I see.
rest.
Well, let's go ahead and set it up. So,
Might take
demonstration?
9 or 10 hours instead of 8 hours, right?
Go ahead and demonstrate the flame.
So he'll set it up, and then he'll I'll just use Druidcraft to light the the oil.
As you light, he goes, yes, the hue is slightly lacking in pigment, which means that the flame will work, but you are right, it is weak.
Is not Grim's best work. I had trouble maneuvering the time dial cauldron.
Begins the effects do seem acceptable. He begins writing them down. Says next, Aldusk. Begins moving over to Aldusk, and Aldusk says, something happens. You guys just hear like whispering. He's like, I see. Well, a potion of psychic resistance. Well, I suppose we'll have to have someone test this now, won't we? He says, me, I'm here for it. And he gives them the potion. And he's like, and Aldusk walks over and goes, there's only one way to test this. And he gestures forward. And as he does, you see like just psychic energy like pouring out of his hand. And he starts screaming. And then he passes out foaming at the mouth. And they're like, well, it's impossible to determine how effective the efficacy of your potion was. The small amount that we took on litmus seems functional. Perhaps you should have been more gentle with the participant, with your display. And he gestures for you guys here. Very well. I see. Well, taking that into account, it's fair enough to state that it was a fairly well-made potion. But begins taking notes. Very well. We will tally up the scores and we will announce the placings shortly. I haven't done the maths yet, guys. I need you to get your total. and write it down. What do you have told me your total? I have to
We're
do the
not
math for
rolling
everybody
for
else's.
our performances, are we?
Yeah, you do have to roll for your performance.
Or how are we rolling for our performances?
You're rolling with advantage. You're both rolling with advantage, but you're rolling a performance check.
That's gonna be bad.
Yeah.
Why do you think? If it makes you feel any better, Aldos rolled a 10 on his performance. So
Well, I'm gonna roll what would you guess? I'm gonna roll a 4. I rolled an 11.
I would have used a breath for you at the relevant time.
Oh, okay.
so
then I
add a
rolled
D10.
I rolled
Hell
a
yeah.
14
Hell
total.
yeah.
What'd you roll, Bropsy?
21.
Nice. All right, so go ahead and take your totals. I have to get my calculator out because I can't do this.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Bropsy won.
All right, so we're gonna do this guy. Oh, actually, while I am currently taking the time to calculate the totals, why don't we go ahead and take our break? After a short break, we'll be right back with the totals. Because technically, it is break time. So
Nice.
everybody go and take it. Oh God, Sim's not here, so you can't put us in break.
I'm here.
Does the total of all of the rounds matter or no?
Yes.
We go on break.
All the rounds, all 5 rounds. And we're back. So, as a little bit of time passes and you take a short break, everybody then is gathered around. The potions are set out, and there's like a bit of a podium situation going on, saying, "Here I am, given this privilege to announce the winner, the final round placement of Selindor's Academy's Alchemy Roulette, number 420. This year was another great year. We saw some grand participants show us some wonderful stuff." This old man continues reading down this list. He has a big pompous speech about, integrity and the use of skills and unguents and oils and the provided by the materials provided by such and such alchemical regents incorporated. And at the speech is done, he says, "And with no further ado, from 8th place up, we shall proceed." In 8th place, earning 40 points for their school in the competition, is Mixpot Mark IV. Good. Very well. In 7th place, earning, again, 40 points for their school, is Claude of the Risen Mind of Yustrandi. Very good. Earning still 40 points in 6th place. I can do it. Is Uza, 4th chair of Blackstaff Tower. 40 points. Yes. Moving on. Now gaining 50 points for their school. Ooh, we jumped. We have Fira of the High Realm Academy. 50 points. 60 points for their school is Dr. Epidemia of Necrom Academy. Very good. Earning 70 points for their school. Very hard worker. This is the math, right? Yes. Is Grim of Feywild's Teachings. 3rd place. Ooh, well done. Feywild's Teachings? Seriously? Funny.
We know plants and stuff. It's fine.
In 2nd place, earning 80 points for their school, is Eldosk of Inveruna. Meaning 1st place. And earning 90 points for their school with a total score of 108, surpassing Aldusk's at 101, is Bropsy of Neverwinter Academy. And there is a roar in the entire stadium.
Or it's like, hey, your
Everybody
mom
who has been
won.
going to alchemy classes for the past few months knows that nobody has studied longer or harder than Bropsy of Neverwinter Academy. She came out of nowhere, but she studied alchemy like nobody's business. She learned it from beginning to end, and she won in a week of studying. So there are alchemists there who bury their heads in their hands. A lot of people cheering, and other alchemists going, "How? I devoted my life to alchemy." She
No,
learned it
don't
in
do that! Don't discourage that!
a week.
To be fair,
He's like, I mean,
I was already
Aarakocra lived a
exhausted.
lot less time.
I spent 6 months doing nothing but alchemy, but it's okay.
I've been
Aarakocra
living like a legend
lifespans
for
are
10
way
years.
shorter.
6 months of Grimm's life, it's okay. I'm fine.
And you got third place, okay? You just had some bad rolls. So as you guys finish this ceremony, they walk out holding a pristine, beautiful, like it almost looks like it's made out of mithril or some other fine material. This glimmering time dial cauldron Mark II.
Oh boy.
It's not like she's not going to let me use it, right? So it's fine.
They place it in front of you.
Never.
First place prize, time dial cauldron Mark II. To second and third place, a package of unguents and materials for alchemical purposes. A package worth 1,000 gold pieces apiece and 500 gold pieces respectively. Here you are, your alchemical package. They hand you your alchemical package.
Even
Does
like,
this
can
come with
I
a
have,
manual?
can I have platinum instead? Because I can't touch gold.
It's
Just 50.
It's actual reagents. These are reagents.
But no, but you said 500 pieces of gold too, right?
500 gold worth of unguents and reagents.
Oh, you were saying there was 1,000 gold worth of unguents and 500. Okay, you were saying there were two tiers. I thought you were saying. Never mind. I thought you were saying it's 1,000 worth of unguents and 500
no additional
gold.
prize money. No additional prize money.
Okay.
They're like, here is your package. Oh, good at this. It's like basically like a coupon for a bunch of unguents that you might like, regents that you might need at like the local alchemical surplus store.
And if anything, they would give Eggle bucks.
Which they're probably going to get from what, like Krishna, right?
Krishna, yeah, it's basically from Krishna's shop. Yeah, right, exactly. So, but it was from a different retailer, but still.
Yeah.
It's the guys who were hosting the event. So, without further ado, your champions! And so everybody's cheering, and there's lots of ruckus celebration. And you watch as the scoreboard changes and ticks around. I don't know what the current scores are because I'm a bad DM, and I didn't keep track of the scores as we were going through the competitions to this point. I should know what everybody's total score is, but I don't.
That's fine. We'll figure it out later.
That's okay.
To the VODs!
To the VODs! So, as you guys keep moving forward with your day, the next thing that would be happening is the Artificer's expose. Presenting them in the same order would put the first presenters that are scheduled to go at Artificer's expose. The Prime Thought is first to present. They have, I believe, 30 minutes to present each, or is it 15 minutes to present each? Something like that. So I'm going to say 30 minutes to present each. I don't know how much time that actually gives us in the day, but let's pretend it's enough. Okay? So with the 12 schools, that would be like 6 hours before, 6 hours after. I don't really think there's that much time in a day, but we're going to pretend that it works. 20 minutes. They get 20 minutes. Whatever.
Well, they could also present simultaneously, right? I mean, there could be multiple venues.
Yeah. Meanwhile,
multiple panels of judges.
Sure. As we're looking at the different things to be presented, High Realm Academy will be going third with their Zephyr board. So you have 40 minutes to prepare before you have to present. Meanwhile, Nikita and Simner and Sim, you are 3 of the 4 judges. I am the 4th judge.
Oh,
I'll be
that's
judging
right.
this entire competition.
Yes!
As you are here each thing, you will be grading it on 1 through 10 out of the 4 categories, or three categories that they have. And take into account their performance, which is a single performance check roll that is made, just to sort of, if it needs to sway up or down based on how well they performed for you. But it's up to you what kind of judge you want to be. It's just the only way I could think to make this remotely fair.
Okay. Let's develop a persona.
So yeah, let me just find this thing. Okay, so Artificer Expose. The 3 things that you were grading them on: 1 through 10, score of 1 through 10 on their overall concept. Is it a good idea? Is it practical? Is it something new? Is it lots of ingenuity? Like, most importantly, and more than anything else, can it sell? Second thing is methodology. How well is it designed? Did they do it in a clever way? Is it well executed or is it overly complicated? So how well did they make it? How good was their methodology on how well is it designed? And then there's execution. How well is a prototype executed versus the design? And to what degree does it accomplish the task it is meant to accomplish? How good is this invention? How well does it fill the void that it is meant to fill? Those are the 3 things that you were grading on.
Okay, 3. Okay. Sorry, say it was what again?
Concept,
Like
methodology,
design,
and execution. So how good is their prototype? How well have they actually... So one is like, how good is their theory? What is like, how good is this thing that they made? And then how well did they go about doing it? And then how well did they do so far? What have they presented us? Because if they've got a really good theory, it's one thing. But if they can't give us a product that is functional and real world, then it's useless.
So just concept,
So 1 through 10
method,
in each
execution.
category?
Or
Yes.
concept, process. Yeah. Okay. Cool.
So, with that in mind, is there anything anybody would like to do before we move on to this section? Is there anybody who's not participating that has something that they would like to do in the interim, or would you like to watch your friends perform an Artificer's Expose?
I mean, I'm
Does anybody
definitely
have...
watching my friends and cheering them on and being there for emotional support, but I'm also kind of like glancing around to see if Clary's watching somewhere.
Cleary is presenting.
Oh, that's right, he's in this one.
Cleary is in this
Okay,
one.
I didn't
He's
see him
presenting your
during-
gift, in fact.
Yes, I remember now.
Grim is going to check in with Brogy, with regarding the Sanisphere.
Oh yeah, you message in Brogy. Brogy's like, Brogy is working so hard, Mushroom King. There are so many features to Semisphere.
Well, it's
What
great.
can I do for you?
No, I just wanted to make sure you were okay. It's a great. I think we did a great job. I just wanted to make sure you were ready.
Brogy has really good process for showing the possibilities of Semisphere. Brogy must procure a bucket of lava before presentation. I will be back.
Okay. Well, if you need help, well, no, maybe don't ask Gabe because you might get
Mushroom
him
King
killed.
have access to lava. Hey.
Well,
Acid?
we could ask. You could ask. I could ask Orin. I'll talk to Orin. Orin, could you ask your girlfriend if she can give Brogy some lava?
Like 1 gallon is maybe.
Just 1
maybe
gallon
2,
of lava. He wants
maybe
a
3
gallon
gallons.
of lava.
5
for the
gallons
presentation.
of lava at tops.
5 gallons, if she can, of lava.
I'll call and find out.
Yes, I don't know why Brogy needs lava, but he needs lava. Brogy it's Brogy. He's just a little bean, so just give him what he wants. Usually it's skin flakes. This time it's lava. So
What a gallon?
he's just
of
a
lava?
little guy. He's a little guy. Sometimes he tries to kill you in your sleep. Sometimes he wants a gallon of lava.
Just normal little guy stuff.
Normal
Normal
boggle
guy
things. There's a gallon of lava? Is that
Yeah, or 5.
1 gallon, 5 gallons, however many gallons
One-
you
However
one
much
to five.
Boggle can carry, it's fine. It's only
Yeah,
like
I mean, however much you
oh.
can transport in like a bucket.
all right? I will call Princess
In the
Caldera.
bucket, I guess. And
All right, so you call Princess
probably have
Caldera,
special
and
buckets
it
that
rings for a
keep
minute, and
lava
she
hot,
goes,
right?
"Yes, Owen.
Hey.
Oh, Owen, how did your thing go? Your presentation? Didn't you presenting something?
Oh, yeah,
You're
soon.
bored.
Like 30 minutes from now. Yep.
Oh goodness. Unfortunately, I can't be there myself today. I'm still dealing with my father, but
Oh, that's okay.
soon I might have
I had
a
a-
situation.
Had a weird request.
depending on the contents, I might be able to fulfill this request. How weird.
Could you have someone there teleport a bucket of lava to the teleportation circle at Logic's Landing?
Just a bucket of lava.
Yep,
Just
that's it.
teleported. No explanation or anything. Just bucket of lava. Send it on through.
Yep.
I love this.
Or the presentation.
No. I really enjoy no explanation. They'll freak. 1 second. How much lava do you need?
1 to 5 gallons.
I have a bathtub I could fill with lava. How would they feel about a bathtub filled with lava?
I don't know if they could carry it, but sure. Send
I'll do
it
the
on.
bathtub.
All right. Do you need it back? The bathtub?
Oh, well, it is the one for my changes, but I have 3. This is my oldest one.
I love D&D.
And we'll just like,
I'll try and get it back after they're done with it.
where Broby, she's getting your
Emma,
lava.
can you fill my old tub? Yeah. Yes. Yes, the old one. The bronze one. Yes. No, with fireproof. Yes, that one. Yes. Thank you. Fill it with lava.
Airproof one.
Yeah. We're sending it to Logic's Landing. Don't ask why. Do it. I'm a princess. It'll be fine. Boop, boop. She hangs up.
I love it.
Bro, call Brogan. Brogan, don't worry. Your lava is coming. It's gonna come in a
This is
Bathtub.
the best presentation.
You're getting
I
a
am so
bathtub
excited.
full of lava, apparently.
Yeah,
Okay.
it'll be at
don't worry.
Logic's Landing any minute.
Brogy did not need a bathtub, but Brogy will make do, I suppose. Brogy will get ladder.
Good job, Brogan.
Okay, so as this chaos ensues, and eventually at some point in the middle of Logic's Landing, a bathtub filled with lava just appears, and then Brogy just shows up. Don't worry, guys. I'm just getting a trolley here.
Let me tell you.
He's
Don't
backing a
worry.
carriage up to it. Beep,
If Feywild
beep,
somehow
beep.
wins this competition,
Lava
be a
just
first.
sloshes out of the tub as he pulls it on the cart and just pours out on the grass, and there's just a wildfire outside. He's like, "No worries." Just keep pulling.
but we can snuff out the fires with druidcraft and stuff, I think,
Yeah.
right?
So stuff's happening,
So that-
and everybody's helping out. There's lots of people there. There's different kinds of Eldrin and
Don't worry,
and
guys.
different kinds
It's
of
in
face spirits that can.
Artificer
fix this.
stuff. Don't worry. Official business.
Yeah, some people freak out. Some people think it's hilarious. Some people just watch as you walk through the fairgrounds with a bathtub filled with lava. Kids are like, "What's in the tub?" And you're like, "No!" And stops a bunch of kids from trying to peer into the tub filled with lava. And you guys do get it to its destination. As the
Earwolf from in
rabble,
Grimm's eye, and he'll be like, "Gabe would have loved this," you know.
Luckily, the tub is not hot because it's fireproof.
Correct. As you guys make your way to your seats and Artificer Expose, some of you there to see
Damn it, Raven.
Oren, some of you there to see Cleary, some of you there to see whatever. It's the veil
But he
has been
just lived
lifted. He doesn't live in
But
a
he just
void.
lived in a void. Like he
As
lives
the
in the material
presentations
plane.
begin. So, with concept, methodology, execution, and the presentation just taken into account, as your 1 through 10 on each of those 3 categories, we are going to begin Artificer's Expose. So, the first presenter is the Prime Thought. We have, and then it begins introducing the different students. It's a list about 10 students long of different people who are working on the project under the supervision of Ex-Inect Professor. We present to you the Clockwork Egg. They bring it out, and it is an egg that just has like gears and things twisting around it. It's sort of got like a weird, like white opalescent shell that is just covered in like little filigrees of gold. And they bring it out and say, "This is a clockwork egg. You take a small essence from the user that is infused within the egg. After such, an interface is administered that allows you to choose how your clockwork familiar will form. It is tied to you and your essence and will follow all of your commands as they are subjected. By taking this small, and then they begin going into details on how the essence is used and how it forms something based on your fractures that you might have. It might change the way that it evolves, but it will evolve to suit the user's needs as time passes. But it is a clockwork familiar that grows and evolves for its user. It seems like it is done in a way that is impossible to understand. The judges have no idea how this was made, even though they go into great detail on how it was done. Their presentation is a 7. So you have a very hard time of understanding how this thing was developed or what good it is. They do say that each one of these would cost around 10,000 gold. But it would evolve into a very useful thing that they have no current presented version of, except for one of them says, "This is my clockwork familiar, as you see here, as this one grows." Right. So they have a small demonstration of what appears to be a raven that knows how to read. Prime thought.
Wait, so are we acting out our judgment?
No,
Or-
you don't have to act out your judgment. All I need you to do is quietly and discreetly write down your scores 1 through 10 for each of the different categories. I'm going to get a piece of paper and do mine.
Wait,
My little
Oh,
old
right.
man had
I
an old
zoomed out.
man
There's
planned
there's
out.
Did I
like
hear
10
raven that
people
can read?
presenting. There's like 10 people presenting, and like, you know, they just go into detail, but I didn't want to like do a presentation for all of them that took like 10, 20 minutes because we'd be done with our whole session already. This is the best way I could think to do it. So this is Prime Thought. Concepts.
I mean,
Okay. So
There
after
we
you finish writing those down, it's up to you guys if you want to share the points now and get their total scores now, or if you just want to wait till the next one.
15.
I will wait to the next one. I was going to wait to the next one just so that way there wasn't
There's like
any
a,
subconscious competition, you know.
Yeah, so we don't know what the scores are. Just gonna as we go. All right, so the next one is the Risen Mind of Ystrandi.
I'm not even going to try and spell you this Strandi.
I just do RMY. Is what I write down for it.
I
Risen
just
Mind of
wrote Risen
Ystrandi.
Mind.
As these mind flayers come out, they begin showing you how they have created a universal translator microcerebral seal upgrade. The way that this works is they take this small cerebral implant and they place it into your seal. It is completely compatible with any seal. And what it does is the organism that is developed there will then infect and infest the architecture of the seal and then allow it to translate any sound that you hear into whatever language you wish to speak directly into your mind, allowing you to understand any of the languages currently known within the Mind Flayer Elder Brain just directory of language. And it's translated to a point where anybody can communicate with anybody. So I think that this is incredibly cheap. It's organism. It takes about 3 months to grow it. But afterwards, it shouldn't cost more than 1,000 gold to basically change 10 units into this version to produce 10 units, which is pretty good. Like, it's 100 gold a unit. And they say that it could sell. Or you think it could sell, in theory. People like universal translation. And this is what they have presented. Their overall presentation is a 9. They're not very good at explaining what they do. It's a lot of growing things.
We're doing these at a 20, right, for the presentations?
Out of-
Wait, when you said the
10
presentation,
categories out of 10.
It's 10, 10, 10. So maximum score they could get overall is 30.
no, when you say their presentation,
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
when you
out of a
like,
no, this is just their presentation on a D20 with their.
that's what I'm
proficiencies.
asking.
Yeah.
That's what I'm
This
asking.
is
When
has
you
been
say
doing
they're
a very bad.
That's what I. Okay,
This is
because
a
I knew
performance
we were
check.
scoring them out of 10. And you're like, it was a 9. And I'm like, wait, I'm scoring them out of 10. You say it's a 9, and wasn't great. And I'm like, oh.
It was not a very
Yeah.
good performance.
So that's on the out of
You're
20
right, yeah.
plus,
All right.
right?
It's
Okay.
not a very good performance check. However, it seems like a very practical thing.
But it infests the brain or the seal?
Seal.
Okay.
It merges with it. It's like a symbiotic entity that merges with the
Okay.
interface of the device and allows you to understand and translates what it says, sends it telepathically into your brain. And they have a small demonstration on how that would work. It's not too bad. After this time, High Realm Academy. Orin, you now have this time to describe your item. I will then roll Fira's performance check and give it to you.
Oh boy. All right.
If possible, perhaps he would have given an enhance ability before this, or a breath.
The performance is a
during the performance.
26.
Well,
I think you're good.
It's well presented.
Yep. So yeah, we have the Zephyr board. It will allow the user to hover around in style and get places faster than walking. You can also do some pretty neat tricks. And I'm obviously
do some
going to
tricks?
demonstrate. Yeah, I'll do some tricks.
So you're doing some tricks on it while Fira kind of describes like what it does. And then there's the science behind it.
Which
she
Cornwall can
describes.
explain.
Yeah, Cornwall does this like slides for it, and she presents it. Is there anything special you want to do in this presentation? They all know what the Zephyr board is.
I'm going to try and get a little fanfare, fly above the crowds and stuff a little bit.
All right. Shawl goes into performance.
Yeah.
how fast does it go?
If you use the boosters, you can go up to 220 feet distance, like travel distance, and 120 feet high.
It's a pretty solid flying device.
Yeah, it's got some boost to it. Now, I don't know what we said a board like this might cost.
I mean, if you're figuring it out and doing the figures on it, it's probably going to cost 3,000 or 4,000. You would think. So they're not cheap, but they are really cool. And there would be Paul does have theories on ways to reduce the price. He thinks he could probably get it down to like maybe 2,000 a unit.
Yeah. Plus, it depends on the materials you use to make it. We used mithril, so
they used mithril, which was pretty expensive.
And Zephyrite and Aquam are not cheap either. So it's not for your common man.
Okie dokie.
Yeah,
Also,
I think that's how I feel about that one.
I'll also demonstrate that you can lock yourself into it so you don't fall off the board.
Safety.
Yeah, and I'll like even go upside down and see, I'm still on the board.
All right.
Brogy presenting by himself. Is it just Brogy?
Oh, he's got a little team.
There's nobody presenting with Brogy. He's got to roll stuff.
Got a team of boggles.
Nice. All right, so we have.
I think he's the only boggle around
We
here.
now have Neverwinter Academy presenting. A group of gray-robed individuals come out and begin to explain to you how they have developed something called the bottled climate.
Ooh.
You toss it, and it will create a pocket of climate contained in the bottle, and apply it to an animal of an area of up to 1,000 square feet of area. The climate persists for 24 hours unless it is an enclosed area. that is not showing like that is not connected in any way to a functional environment, right? So inside of a room or a warehouse or anything like that.
It can't disperse, right?
Yeah, it can't disperse. Then it would persist indefinitely. And the climates that they have captured are not limited to the material plane. They have found a way to capture climates of multiple different areas, including the plane of fire, the Feywild, in a bunch of different areas that would make it possible to basically what they're using it for is to allow all different creatures from anywhere to be rescued and placed in a safe environment. So basically like a zoo that could keep them safe. So for endangered animals or creatures from different planes. So they wish to using it to expand. The way that they do this is it takes a year of keeping the bottle within the environment and going and visiting it and re-upping the enchantments once a month. So it's a long process. However, the materials to cost aren't that expensive. It's just the cost of doing it. So presenting wise, whereas it's not practical to make them, they are not too cost effective. Unfortunately, they don't have like a whole lot of uses militaristically speaking, or anywhere outside of basically this, what they're using it for that you can figure. They do a decent job of explaining it. Natural 20 for 25. They very clearly explain how this was made, the architecture behind it, and is well executed in how it was made. This is a stable product, but unfortunately, it has limited uses.
Yeah, but it's really cute. It's precious.
The bottle of climate, yes, a little.
Yeah.
Anyways.
I still have notes on the ball puzzle in my notes. You know, with the keywords and like what elements we had to use and stuff. I should probably delete those. We don't need that anymore.
Yeah. University of Phoenix. You guys watch as Cleary walks out and begins to go into the delicate work that was taken to create the figurine of wondrous power that is capable of summoning a dragon. He walks up onto the stage and he pulls the statue out and he shows it to you all, to everybody, and it's this beautiful, gracious looking statue. And then he gestures over it and he whispers his name, Niska, rise. And as he does, she, you watch as it begins to move slightly and then enlarges to the size of what appears to be a young dragon. But this beautiful scale is made out of moonstone. This beautiful, like, if you guys look up a moonstone dragon, it is a moonstone dragon standing there on the stage. He gets on it and it flies around the room and it shoots lights out of its mouth. It is gorgeous and it is alive. It says, and you're able to do this often? And, well, once in a very long time, you're able to summon her true form. Isn't that right? And she just kind of nods to him. He begins to say, so this is something that can be developed, whereas you cannot mass produce such a thing. We can develop it in a sense that you must. And he goes into the binding of a spirit, to the finding of familiars situation, to like what's necessary to create figurines of this power and how he's capable of doing the sculptures. And with these runes, anybody can in theory do it if they are able to find and form a bond to. Because this is an actual creature bonded to this device. Like, it's not something that's trapped within. It is an understanding and a binding agreement with the being.
So it's cruelty-free.
It is cruelty-free. It's basically like a summoning device more than anything else. However, the creature can't be harmed because it is formed through the material of the sculpture. So that is what he presents, and he does a Cleary level job presenting it.
Also could have gotten it in hands or a breath if he wanted it.
He rolled a natural 19 plus his performance check, which is a +5. What? He rolls a 24 in presenting.
I'm sure my
People
scores
like
are going to
that
be so different from everyone else's.
Your scores or my scores?
My scores are going to be so different from everybody else's.
So are mine, probably. That's what I like
I'm
about this. I think it's
having
fair.
so
Actually
much
going to be
trouble.
closest to like Bropsy's would be my, like, I'm not sure how it's going to pan out.
For what it's worth, my judge, I am just using the mindset of my low int, low whiz barbarian from my other game.
Well, that'll be interesting. Silly, none of these have combat practicality.
I love everything in concept,
Deal with
but I
this.
don't understand what you're saying at all.
All right, so moving on to some of the ones that are a little bit more thought out. Sorcery comes with the Omni Shard. This crystal is a solidified shard of condensed Selindor mist. It swirls with rainbow colors. And as an action, you can attach the shard or tiny object to a weapon. It works like any other spell shard that a sorcerer can wield. However, when you use the meta magic object with a spell while you're holding or wearing the shard, you can use one of the following properties so long as you have a fracture awakened with a matching tab. It uses different abilities depending on what kind of fractures you have awakened and is capable of doing pretty much anything that any of the other shards are capable of doing. This is, as far as a sorcerer is concerned, the holy grail of arcane focuses. They have created something that, with the ability of Selindor, matches with their fractures and empowers them in a way that is specific to them. And it gives them more options than any one shard ever has before.
And
Their performance is a natural 18 plus 6, so 24.
And in terms of its production, is it replicatable?
It can be made. It is a it takes a very long time to do.
So it's more on
basically,
par
they
with like Neverwinter.
Yeah, they crystallize the actual mist of Selindor.
Which takes a long time and
Takes a very long time to process. So whereas that makes it very difficult, one of them could be worth maybe 5,000 to 6,000 gold, but it would improve the spellcasting efficacy of a sorcerer exponentially, especially in Selindor. So as the cost is mid to high, this is the ultimate as far as sorcerers are concerned for a spellcasting focus.
Well, it's a big fat 0 for me because I'm not a sorcerer, so...
right. Sort of one of like the points down is like it's just for sorcerers.
Yeah,
Nobody else can. Like the coolest concept is the one that's like we know the least about, right? Like that. Who knows if it's useful, right?
Also gave the Raven a 2 because it can read and I
Black
can't.
Staff Tower. They come out.
Exactly, right?
Black Staff Tower comes out and shows you the scroll script staff. It's a +1 spellcasting staff that contains up to a number of embedded scroll scripts. The number that they have made it to so far is 5. Each script is blank and can be made into a scroll using the creations for spell creation rules. However, the scrolls used may be cast once per long rest, rather. Depending on the number of embedded scroll scripts determines the number of spell level that the spells can be scripted at. So if you have a 1 spell script spell scroll, or a spell staff, then you would only have a first level spell. However, if you had a 5 spell script, which is as high as they've made it, then you could have a 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th level spell all in the staff that can be cast once per day. Indefinitely. However, they go into how it is designed and how they have to work in spell geometry that is incredibly complex. And so they haven't made it past 5. 5 was done by a master who can think 5-dimensionally. You would have to work and create a spell formula that was Nonaract, I believe is what they're called. It's 9th dimensionally shape. Anyways, the point is it would be so incredibly difficult to process it to a 9th level spell staff that they haven't made it there, but they made it to 5, which they think is a huge breakthrough.
This is making my brain melt, so that's going to be hard to score. What's their performance? What did you say? Did you score their performance?
Their performance is a natural 20. 25.
Suddenly I understand it.
Basically, here's what happens. Anybody can use this staff. It is a +1 to your spellcasting ability modifier and your DCs.
Yes.
And you can make scrolls in it, which makes it so you can cast that spell once per day without using a spell slot.
like a kind of like a spell storing kind of thing, but like
It's a
with
spell
scrolls.
storing. It's a spell storing staff.
Yeah.
A customizable spell storing
A
staff.
customizable spell storing staff, and once stored, can be used by any spellcaster. Meaning, if a person can make a scroll for druid spells, a wizard can still cast it using his staff.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, it's very strong. Very
Once you started
interesting.
talking about fifth dimensional and ninth dimension, my brain was like,
Yes.
what are you
So that's the thing, is your execution, you may not even be able to understand what they did. It was very intelligent, but it's wild. And it's like, they do a good job of explaining what it is, but maybe not so much of how it was executed. Okay. Then we've got Necrom Academy has created the Life Force Serum. This serum is capable of satisfying vampirism, replacing blood in spellcasting rituals of any type, and when drunk by anybody who isn't of the vampire variety, restores maximum HP if maximum HP is damaged. And more importantly than that, if your HP is at its normal maximum, gives you plus 15 maximum HP until your next long rest.
what's it called again?
Life Force Serum.
For copyright purposes?
Oh, what? So it's not True Blood? Yeah, it's a lot. It's basically True Blood.
It's interesting, yeah. It's cool, yeah.
So for vampires, great. For everybody else, still pretty great.
Yeah, it's cool, yeah.
It's not super hard to make. Each vial would probably cost about 500 gold pieces to manufacture,
Yeah.
and then selling for profit. So
I feel like it's
It's
nothing
pretty
like super groundbreaking, right? But
no,
it's
it's nothing
cool, yeah.
groundbreaking, but it fills a need.
What's their performance check?
Ooh, their performance check. They're vampires, and yet
That's true.
they rolled a natural 1 on their performance check.
Too spooky.
Good thing they're so charismatic.
They're just creepy. They're like blood and drooling over it.
If it was Grim judging and Nathaniel was there, they'd get advantage.
It's because they're in daylight, so they have disadvantage on the roll.
Man, that's such a bummer too. They were so good.
At some point, Grim is going to run back into Nathaniel Durandus. It just hasn't happened yet.
It just hasn't happened yet. All right.
I'll be right
back.
He
This
might
is
not
the
even
part,
be alive.
Feywild's teaching now shows up, and they say, and Brogy takes a step, and he watches. He wheels in his table, which is covered. It's like this tent, and there's like this, like you can tell there's something round on top of it, and it's like really big round thing, about 4-foot diameter sphere, and it's sitting on top of this like little trolley. And he comes out with that, and then on another trolley is a bucket of lava. And then on another trolley is just a bunch of different random shit. He's got a boot covered in dirt. He's got a mushroom. He's got what appears to be just like a bunch of like random knickknacks and different things that are in various degrees of contaminated.
You want to have
as he's-
sorry, I was just gonna say, do you want to have Orin judge? Sorry, I guess he just stepped out, but so that
because
I'm
it's
not
something that-
judging Feywilds. Because
I
like
mean,
Grim
well,
kind
if
of,
you
Grim-
think that you weren't going to be fair about it, sure.
well, I mean, I like it because I invented it. You know what I mean? Like, it's kind of Grim's invention. So me judging it, it seems a little biased.
So,
you know,
sure, we'll have Warren judge this one. So
I think it's super cool.
Brogy
So,
comes out and says, Brogy, he was here in the entire process as the Mushroom King and the inventors from the cauldron of purity developed Sanisphere. Sanisphere is very good. Look at what it can do. It has so many things. It is 4 foot in diameter. And notice, and he pushes and he pulls it off, and you see this like arcane sphere that is completely clear. And hovering in the very middle of it, you see what appears to just be a mushroom, just hovering in the middle of it. This is Sanisphere. It is 4 feet diameter, over 6 inches above ground. No matter how much you push on it, and he climbs on top and like jumps on it and he says, "Stays very good. Bob's a little bit, but pretty much just stays there, and he's very good in getting around." It is intricately enchanted. You can see like all these different marks all around this thing, and it is clearly made out of aqua. I says, "Nothing can permeate it. Look as I pour lava on it." Takes it and pours lava on the ball, and it goes over, and the lava then pours into the stage, and it begins burning a hole in the stage until it starts to cool. It's like, yeah, right? So pretty good. There's that. I'm wrong, it likes it. So he just does it with the lava. These are its features and functions. This is how I show you. And he walks up, and he goes, "Okay, so, new subject." And as he does, a little like bubble, part of the bubble opens up and like forms a second bubble. And he goes, "See, I said no subject. It opens the spot 1 foot diameter." And he goes and he picks up the boot and he goes, puts it in to the thing, just like this dirty boot. And he goes, "Submit." And then it seals up and it begins filling with liquid. As you can see, it fills with a solution that gets rid of oxygen. And then you can say, "Sterilize." And he says sterilize, and you see the small pulse of light, and oh, the dirt is gone. Oh, this is so good. Now just boot is sitting in Sanisphere, and then I say submit again, and look, it is guided into the sphere. They will not touch each other. Mushroom and boot do not touch unless I want them to touch. How do I make them touch? You question. This much I know. Watch. He goes, gloves. He says gloves, and he puts his hands into the sphere, and it moves around his hand, and he says, "And I can now mess with gloves, and I can manipulate and make mushroom touch boots." And he puts the mushroom in the boot. Oh,
This is why I'm
and
not
then
allowed
move my
to
hand,
play.
and it floats in the middle like this. And now I'm not done, because I can do this very special project we discover. Make fist and pull. And as he pulls, the gloves come with him and detach from the sphere. Right. Very fancy gloves. Comes with, watch, puts his hands in the lava. It cannot be adhered to or permeated by any substance. And these could be used as braces of defense, actually. And you return them to the sphere. And he goes back to the sphere. And he says, "But how do you get it out?" "Well, watch this." And then I say, "Extract." And then another sphere appears. Gloves. Puts it in. Puts the boot back in and extract. He says, "Submit." And it closes back up. He says, "Now as you see, it is on the outside." And then I say, "Extract." And it opens back up again. And he pulls the boot. And he says, "Now we have a clean boot."
Does anybody know what he just said?
With the mushroom in it. Pretty cool. The point is,
Oh,
you
that's
can
pretty
mess
cool.
with stuff in the bubble. You can take part of the bubble with you, which is really neat. Bronky worked very hard on this, and we did a very good job. And here, clap for Bronky. People start clapping for Brogy. He rolled a natural 2 for his performance check.
Oh,
Accurate.
So
he did.
Plus-
He did at least, show how it worked, which I think
he
is
showed how it
pretty
works.
effective.
Like, I think he did a good job of showing how it works. He just did a bad job of talking.
He's brokey.
And he only used 5 minutes for his presentation time on his 20-minute presentation.
This is it. This is why I can't judge it, because I like Brogy too much, and I like the Sanisphere too much. That's why we're asking Oren if you can judge the Sanisphere in my stead, because I like it too much, and I like Brogy too much to be able to be too objective, because I also invented it. So
You muted.
Okay.
All right.
What were the three? Just theory?
concept, method, and execution.
Okay.
And you know what it is, a sanitary base where you can, you've heard most of that. So it does lots of cool stuff. What would be really cool, though, would be to combine it with a time dial cauldron. Could make just
All
the
right, let's,
ultimate tool. Like,
All right.
it'd be
So
cool.
unfortunately, the next person that would be presenting would be Silverwind Academy. Mitnir's not here.
Was that
So-
Silverwind? I thought Silverwind went already.
Nope, Silverwind hasn't.
No, that
gone
was
yet.
Neverwinter. That's
Oh,
good.
right, never mind.
With their
Silverwind
bottled
Academy
climate.
presents Mitnir's presentation, which we cannot accurately judge without him being here to present it. But we can, however. This is one of those moments where we know what his blade does. We could just do a roll that is his performance check, right? We can just do a performance roll, and then we can just judge it based on that. Unfortunately, that's one of the things he's been working on, so I don't really want to cut him out of
What?
presenting it if he wants to.
Would he be doing the performance or someone from that school?
I think he had a thing he was doing where he was like doing a tattoo and then completing the tattoo or carving or whatever, and like showing how it works.
Is he the only one left too?
One of two, yeah.
Well, go ahead and do the other one.
All right,
We can see if maybe he'll hop.
Oh, it's just
on his phone
Inveruna
for
left,
this.
right?
No, El Tortros.
Does Inveruna not have a? They don't have a submission.
There's no submission from Inveruna. No.
Oh,
Mm.
They
lazy.
did not have time to develop a new magical device.
They're too busy with everything else.
If they do create a new magical device, they ain't sharing it because it's something. However, El Tortros we can move on to. So we get the presentation from Silverwind Academy about the enchanting blade. I'm going to go ahead and write down my scores for it because I know what that's going to be, and we can just kind of take it from there. It's middling performance check.
Well, my vote for Brogy that doesn't count was all 10s. So there.
What was the
Because I
third?
think this Sinisphere is super cool and actually very useful.
El Torchos Academy. You guys ready for the last one? El Torchos has a group of humans that come out on stage wearing their copper robes. And they say, we have created something called a planar particulate resonator. It appears to be some sort of strange device covered in tuning forks. You can't even, looking at it, you can't even count how many different tuning forks are on it, but there's a bunch of buttons and levers, and it seems to be made out of like brass or gold or mithril or a bunch of different metals like mixed together. Probably some magisteel in there, but it's this like strange like device that seems to have a couple of different like energy tools or like tubes attached to it and a bunch of different tuning forks. And as they whir it on, they say, the way that this machine works via the use of frequencies is within 100 area feet of the resonator releases one of these several tones. Particulates will then rise of specific colors based on the design and settings placed in, releasing dust of material matter from anything that is corresponding to that plane of the tuning fork selected. For instance, and they strike what appears to be a steel tuning fork. There's like one of these different metals in there, and they strike a steel tuning fork, and then it begins to ring at a C chord. You guys hear just woo, and then it begins to woo, like warble and get louder as they begin tuning it, and like energy begins waving off. And as it does, a little pulse of energy rises, and anything that is from the material plane begins to give off a silver dust. People, objects, everything begins giving off this strange silver dust and glow. As you can see, this is the material plane. Now, what happens if we change the frequency slightly? Ooh. And they begin changing the frequency, and then emerald green starts popping up in different locations. Anything from the Feywild, including Seti, begins to glow slightly and give off green dust.
Oh, I'm green.
And then begin twisting it to the negative energy, and as you do so, you see this black, sparkling silver dust and black particles begin forming off of a couple of individuals as the Shadowfell begins tuning. And they begin tuning through different forks, and there's a moment where you start hearing murmuring around the crowds and among the judges even. They move on to the next one. I found that different materials play different notes corresponding for planar travel, of course, but also for the revolution of this resonator, we can then see what things are from where. For instance, if I would use this copper one, playing an A chord, boom, begins playing the note, and then you hear, And as it begins ringing out, you see like individuals begin giving off like red flickers and emeralds here, and like all this different dust begins to form. And then there's a moment it's like, excuse me, if we could halt. They begin to talk, and if very interesting, you strike this in this chord, and there's a and a warble comes out, and as it does, you see in the audience what appears to be black tendrils rising off of a very few number of individuals. Just black, inky tendrils begin racing off of them, and this sort of like strange ringing noise begins to reach all of your ears. Everybody make a wisdom saving throw.
Oh, Torchels. You stuck your nose where it didn't belong. Just like us. Oh, it was a nat 20, but it's not. Damn.
22.
I got 11.
I rolled a 7 for a 17.
7 for a 17. Nice. Seems pretty good. Your stats are out of here.
I have proficiency
so-
in every saving throw now.
Anybody that rolls below 15 is going to take psychic damage.
Fun.
5 points of psychic damage. You see some of the people in the audience begin to pass out.
Oh, 5 points was too much for them.
I mean, for some people, for some humans that aren't adventurers, yeah. Some of the people in the audience begin to pass out, and then there's this moment where they're up on the stage and they have this device, and then there's a moment where everything feels wrong. Seti, Oren, Propsy, you all see as the entity approaches the stage. So swiftly you can barely keep your eyes on it, and you watch as the object is lifted into the hand of this creature as it picks it up and drags it and begins moving. And you know that time has stopped. You've experienced this before. This is the wrong music for this.
Oh yeah, shit. Bad shit's happening. I gotta throw the Inveruna music on.
As you watch this entity sweep across the stage, and you know like its movements are so swift and so wrong. Is there anything you would like to do?
I'm sorry, I missed. I had the worst timing. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, some shit's going down. They have a tuning fork that reveals the different planes that
It's not
people
just
are
a
from.
tuning fork, it's hundreds
Basically.
of tuning forks machine.
Right.
Yeah.
So
It revealed a giant tentacle monstrosity monster thing.
well, some kind
It
of
revealed
entity.
something. It revealed a very few number of entities within the crowd began giving off this very dark, like black inky substance. And immediately after that happened, everybody felt something strange happen. Grim didn't, because I don't think Grim has ever entered the veil with Orin, like held hands with Orin to enter into the time stop.
I think we all have at some point, haven't we?
I don't know
don't-
if you have or not.
I don't think so. I think Bropsy might be the only one that's done that.
I
But
know
there was
Bropsy-
Dropsy
But
and
there was a
Seti.
point where we all went in together at some. I think we all hold hands
Well, the
together.
time
to
You
stop
go-
is
all
different.
held hands through the
portals.
portals.
Oh,
Through
okay.
through the honeycomb portals within the black cylindrical void.
That's okay. So this is different from that.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
time stop is different.
Okay.
The time stop is usually when Northought shows up.
Yeah, so is
Right.
that the vibe we're getting from the entity that just
Oh
approached
yeah,
the-
everything has stopped around you. It's just you guys, and you can move if you want to. Otherwise, even your heart isn't beating. But because of your influence from entering there with Warren, the three of you can move.
Is there
You guys
Is there any reaction from inside me?
No, but only because I don't think that you've touched this before, and it's not something within the Star Mother's purview.
I just didn't know if she was like, we're gonna react negatively.
This is its own thing. So you guys see this thing flit across the stage.
I'm just going as I see this thing heading towards the stage. I'm just gonna. It's a bit desperate, but I'm just gonna try to Eldritch Blast the tuning forks and destroy it. before the entity can get it.
Okay, go for it.
Do you want an inspiration breath?
So I get
Make
2
an attack.
blasts. That's an 18 to hit and a 23 to hit.
How far away is it?
Going against the AC of the creature that holds it. So that if they could pull it away before you do the damage. That's the best way I could figure to do this.
Are they
Or
not
they
frozen
make
in
a
time
dex
now?
save.
No, the thing that's flitting across the stage is not frozen in time.
Northot or whoever has just grabbed it.
It doesn't look
Oh.
like Northot.
Okay.
So this thing has it. How far away is the thing that has it?
I imagine we're
from
all
you guys
like,
about 100, 200 feet.
Okay.
Was
So-
the one that grabbed it black and tentacly, or what did they look like?
I will describe them as I need to find their character sheet, and I'm having a hard time.
Or like any of the other ones who are giving off the
Okay,
dust
so the
of this
one that's holding it wouldn't. Oh, I don't have their sheet. Fuck. All right, we'll just use his. All right.
I think
You rolled a what? The what did you roll?
2 attacks for the blast, 18 and 23.
The 23 just hits.
seeing Seti do that, Orin will also shoot 2 radiant bolts at the tuning fork.
Okay. Make your attack rolls. 23 is the AC.
My
Oh, how close are you? You're not within 30 feet though.
Am I not down in the presenting area?
Oh, you are in the presenting area. That's right. You guys are in a completely different area. Well, you're not on the stage. You would be in backstage. So you'd have to like run on stage and then shoot. So I think it would be, unless you were back in the audience, in which case you wouldn't be like that close either. I think it'd be difficult to get there and make the attack.
I mean, I have 65 movement speed.
Well, if you want to run out and do it, sure. Yeah. You just can't do it from where you're standing.
I guess if that's what we're doing, I'm gonna moonbeam it.
Hmm.
Suddenly, all this stuff crashes down on top of it. Make your attack rolls, though.
I did 9 points of force damage.
I got a 29 and a 27.
Those both hit.
Do I? What level moonbeam do I want to cast? How
Hmm.
how much damage do we want to do?
And I did
Grim.
We want to destroy
20.
the
I don't know what
object.
to do.
23
Grim
radiant
is frozen in
damage.
time, I
Do
believe.
we want to destroy the person holding
am I
it, is
frozen
my
in time?
question.
Yeah,
We
because
don't
you don't
care
have
about
any.
the person holding
I don't
it.
think
We
because
want
we
to
just
destroy.
talked about that because you haven't gone through. You haven't experienced the time stop thing.
That's
with
what you're
the
saying.
man.
Okay, I thought you were
Yeah,
saying
yeah.
that. Never mind.
Yeah, so you're frozen in time right now.
We're not shooting the
Um,
creature, we're shooting the object.
So as you guys fire this thing, it explodes out of its hand. This thing flits across the stage, and it's just this black mass of just like ink that just seems to like crawl across your vision. It grabs this thing, and as it does, it like shatters and like explodes out of its hand, and it freezes in the air, and it goes,
Oh boy.
and then you see that, and you see as it looks, you see something underneath. Tentacles flare out in all directions, just black, screams at you, and then it flits off the stage. And as it does, time continues, and you watch as the head of every single presenter falls off of their body,
What?
collides on the ground. Blood starts spraying from their severed heads as they collapse, and everybody in the audience who's still conscious starts screaming. And that's where we're going to end our session 15 minutes early.
Okay, Grim. Well, the first thing Grim does is, immediately jumps down there, just so we're aware.
Mm-hmm.
You jump down at whatever this thing was. Like you get there, and there's a bunch of headless people, and they're immediately wizards all over the place. Like
So, I
all
mean,
these
like
different,
Grim is
arcane beings,
gentle reposing
angels.
everybody.
Yeah, everybody's just
Yeah.
popping up, trying to like save.
Everyone
these
is
people.
getting gentle reposed as soon as he's like tentacling
Yeah.
his way right up there and gentle reposing everyone. So
All right.
yeah,
It's
everybody's getting gentle
like-
reposed.
That stabilizes them or something? What does that one do?
Yeah, they can't.
I mean, they've been decapitated. They are dead, but it stops them
It
from.
extends the.
It stops them
prevents-
from decaying.
Decomposing.
Yeah, it allows them to be raised. Like it keeps their body from whatever.
All right.
They're dead. They at that point they're gone. But like it allows them to extends the time in which the window for them to be raised.
Yeah. So as everybody begins like flitting across the stage, you pull yourself down and you get down right on them, and you begin doing gentle repose, and you watch as the black necrosis begins pulling through their body and begins disintegrating their flesh and bone. I need you to make me an Arcana check to see if you can overwrite the curse that is currently afflicting their body.
Well, can I make a medicine
Rapsy
check?
will try to assist.
You can make a
however
medicine
she
check.
can.
That's even better. Thank you.
Oh, Rapsy's good at that.
That's a 24.
Yeah, you're aware
So
acutely that this is
necrosis?
some sort of like curse or necrosis that is crawling across its flesh, and it is devouring the body and like collapsing it to the point where there's nothing left.
Here's a question. Can I it's gonna sound weird because I don't even know if this is a thing. Can I insert my spores into their wounds to like counter necrosis?
I will say this: if you have a remove curse spell or something else like that, because your magic and your spores are one and the same. So any spell you cast can be described as doing it that way, but you would still be acting it through spell slots. You can't just use
That's
your
the
body
thing.
to do something that you don't have spells to do. So
Well, I
if you
have features that do that, but like
if you have a feature specifically,
I can
that,
infect corpses with my spores to bring them back to life, but I wanted to do like the opposite and prevent them from, you know what I mean? Like,
okay, I will say this: if you want to
delay
try
the
to do something like
necrosis.
that, then it's gonna have to be against a slightly higher DC, and I'm gonna need you to use your spell casting ability modifier.
Yeah, just to just to slow the necrosis with my own spores to try and like
Your
kind
DC
of like
your DC is 26 to stop this individual from stop one individual from
is
fully
this
necrotizing.
wisdom plus proficiency?
Your spell casting ability modifier is whatever your spell attack modifier is.
So like
Wisdom. It
Like
should be wisdom.
guidance.
it says it just +5.
Is that
So that's
if that's your
impossible
spell
then.
cast?
Right?
Not unless you roll a 20. I mean, it's 26, but just your spell casting modifier, which should
Yeah,
be
so
proficiency
18.
plus your spell casting modifier, right?
So 23 then. Yeah, then I didn't make that. So
Plus
I
guidance.
Plus guidance,
what's the
If you
guidance
roll a
again?
3, it's a D4.
D4.
There's 4.
Oh, you did it.
There's 1 then.
So you're able to
That's-
stop one. You
that's
look, and some
27.
of the other ones already turned to dust. Another, like you see some other like angelic wings, like as one lands down and begins to try to like remove the curse. A few of them are already necrotized down to nothing. I'm going to say 2
Is there
more have a
anyone else near
chance.
me?
That's a
I'm gonna
failure.
cast
That one
Greater
goes to dust.
Restoration on one.
Does that remove
Yeah, I'll
curses?
try that.
Yeah, curse. Yeah, it removes a curse.
Okay. Unfortunately, I will say that because you are doing this one, you're busy doing the one that
Okay,
you're
I didn't know if
currently
there was
working.
Okay.
No, this is all happening in like fast.
Let's just
These
know if
things
there's
are-
one near
Well,
enough.
I
Like
have a
after I
greater
stabilize
restoration. I
this
can
one.
do that.
Yeah. Are you going to run down and do greater restoration? You can save one.
Well, you have a Greater Restoration breath, don't you?
When I
Or-
say save, I mean stop their body from just being eviscerated.
So okay. Yeah.
I do not have that as a breath.
Okay. I don't know if you did
It's
or
a
not.
bead.
It's
Bead.
through the bead, yeah.
I remember when I was like,
Oh,
we're going to
but you
stop.
still
You guys
don't
are like,
have
we
to have,
can't
like,
stop
you don't
right
have
now. We can't stop right now. I have things
No,
we
I
gotta
was
do.
saying, yeah, I'll keep these people from
People are
being
gonna
at least.
die.
We
Well,
got
the
10
thing
minutes.
is that Mitnir's not here, and I wanted to make sure that Mitnir had a chance to also react with the rest of you before we moved on.
Oh, that's fair. Yeah. Sorry.
This is big stuff.
I was just in like, I need to keep this.
There's not a
people
whole
from
lot he can
dying.
do to save people right now,
Yeah,
and he was
no,
also
he's-
probably time
That's
frozen.
true.
So there's not a whole lot he can do, but I'm going to say we'll go ahead and wind this down. You guys can take some time. I know it's an early end, but
Well, hey,
this
I
is-
saved one
we've
person's
reached-
corpse.
You saved one person's corpse. Bropsy saved another person's corpse, and I didn't roll for this one.
And that angel person maybe
Oh, no, it
saved
was a
one
10
other
plus.
person.
Yes, the angel did save one. So you saved 3 out of the 10 presenters.
And these were
are
the
not-
El Tortal people.
These are the El Tortal people. The inventors of the machine were immediately decapitated when it was presented.
Now,
Is
Yep.
what you guys just witnessed.
my
Yep.
I have a theory, but anyway, we can probably discuss that after we end or whatever. But
All right.
I have a
So
theory about
thank
that.
you guys so much for hanging out. I hope you guys had a good time tonight. I certainly did. Remember, we love you, and as always, we did it.
Did
for
it
this.
for the rolls.